just witnessed craziness on this Friday.
It's showtime.
Welcome. If you are new, please subscribe, click the notification bell, share to all your social media, thumb up the video. Just witnessed Willie D calling the rest of us regular people uncivilized mutts. I know. Yep. And what's crazy is during his broadcast, he said that we all should come together. It's always your own people tearing you down. And he did it on the Friday, with today being January 12th, a couple of days before Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. Wow, wow, wow.
Game over.
So yeah, and when I say they, I'm talking about our people, are quick to say that we should all come together. We're the ones tearing each other down, blase, blase, so on and so forth. And then they proceed to tear us down in the meantime.
These nuts.
Yep, and that's what it is. So very interesting. As soon as I saw the preview for this, for Willie D addressing the uncivilized mutts, my first thought was he got in his feelings. He got sensitive because people were comparing his interview with the Shay Shay Room. And I mean, he did that when he advertised it. He said, hey, y'all, I see the way that Shannon Sharp and Katt Williams interview is going. I did an interview with Katt Williams. I've been sitting on it. It's going to be better. He advertised it like it's going to be better than the Shay Shay Room interview with Katt Williams. You should check it out. And so on and so forth. He did that, not us, him. And that's what's disappointing, is that he put the interview out there and people had their critiques because it wasn't better. It wasn't better at all. And he's gotten sensitive and in his feelings from the criticism because he's used to the echo chamber of his platform. So on his channel, he will critique trending topics, other celebrities, go in on them. But the first time that he gets criticism, now all of a sudden he's like, whoa, hold on, not too fast, not too hard, slow down. I'm not a journalist. All of these excuses.
Unfrickin' believable.
And what's sad is that a lot of celebrities have come to social media and become content creators. They've made a lot of money. They don't have to grind or really work that hard. They have connections that us regular people don't have. So when a celebrity, such as Willie D, comes on to social media to do content, whether it's cooking, interviews, reactions, whatever that he's going to do or whatever she or whoever's going to do, they automatically get a boost because they're already in the business, in the industry. And a lot of content creators have voiced their displeasure in celebrities kind of taking over the content creator game. But other people have said, well, you got to step your game up. And it's a struggle to grow. Whereas someone who's a celebrity, they have connections, they have resources, they even have management teams that will start to market them, edit their videos, edit their streams, will put them on game. Even the celebrities even have access to larger content creators to get advice, free advice at that matter of fact, to let you know, free advice that a regular content creator, no matter what your size is, either will not get or has to pay a pretty penny for. So coming on to social media and becoming a content creator, reaping the benefits of that, including getting traffic, including getting instant push as far as your content, because people are going to be like, oh, I loved you in this other thing and I see you here. They should be grateful. And they should be understanding that it's implied that they are taking over something that was originally created for the common man, common woman. But I say the more the merrier, because while the celebrities are doing the content creator thing and they're on social media, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, it gives we, the content creators who know what we're looking at, more cannon fodder.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we welcome it. Those of us who are like, you know what? I like having more things to choose from when reacting. I'm all for it. So without further ado, Willie D addresses we the people, the uncivilized mutts.
Willie D live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, what's going on? If it's your first time checking out the show, if it's your first time checking out the show.
All right, so that echo is him. So we're going to pick this whole thing apart. And matter of fact, I'm not going to do it too fast as far as the playback speed, but we're going to pick this whole thing apart because, like Katt Williams says, not a lot of comedians get booed, which would make them have to get better. So not a lot of celebrities who have turned into content creators, or even while Willie D is doing interviews, he becomes a content producer. Media personalities are not getting booed enough. They are basically in an echo chamber with people who like celebrities, people who like that celebrity, or people who like what they're talking about and what they're doing. Media personalities like Willie D do not get booed enough, don't get critiqued enough. So we're going to do that to make it to where he gets better.
But that's okay.
Right, you'll be all right. Right, so he's on StreamYard. He doesn't know what he's doing. Right now he doesn't know that by having another window open, it's going to create an echo effect. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know to close a window to stop the echo effect. So right now he's looking bewildered. He's looking lost. And it's because he's inexperienced. He's just like a rookie who came into the league, who's good, who has popularity, but he's making small mistakes like what he's making because of the lack of inexperience. Whereas those of us who are experienced and smaller, we know stuff like this, and we had to learn while we had to build the plane while flying it. And people, that's not necessarily me, but people tend to be kind of upset at stuff like this because he's coming on here as a celebrity and he's making these mistakes. And instead of reaching out to not just people who are larger for help, but he should be reaching out to people who are smaller because we're going to make him better. If he would have talked to me about this, I'd have been like, hey, before you start your StreamYard, make sure you got your other windows closed. Also, make sure you're using the Chrome instead of like Explorer and other things so that you have a better streaming experience. Yep, that's what I would have done.
Okay, I think I got it now.
You got it.
Okay, family, if it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. Mm-hmm. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent.
Okay.
Family, I need you to smash up the like, smash up the like, smash it. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I'm going
unless you're an uncivilized mutt, then probably don't subscribe.
Straight in. All right, family. First and foremost, I got to clear up some things.
Clear it up.
I want to, first of all, speak on this Katt Williams interview.
Speak on it.
Specifically on Willie D Live.
Okay.
Now, most of you have expressed gratitude for the interview. Some of you expressed disappointment. I conducted the interview in a way that some of you just did not agree with.
Okay.
You disagree with my line of questioning. Let me break it down to you, fam.
Okay, break
First
it
of all,
down.
Salute to Katt Williams and Shannon Sharp.
Salute.
For being Katt Williams and Shannon Sharp. Without both of them being exactly who they are. That could not have happened. That viral moment where they broke the internet could not have happened.
Right.
And my video that followed up to their interview would not have performed as well as it's performing.
Yeah, you said that you're going to wait to drop the video, the interview, after Shannon Sharp because you were trying to get more views on your interview. But you said that you did it months prior. So you doing the video months prior, and I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something. So Katt Williams, this is his website for kattwilliamslive.com. And he already displayed his interview dates. So Katt Williams basically came on your channel to do the interview prior to advertise the 23 and Me tour dates. I'll make this better. That's what he did. So you holding the interview had to be because you knew something that the average person didn't. Because look, all these dates, this is going all the way to August 8/26. And then, even after August, he had other dates going into September. This is all last year, 2023. Dude was basically touring the entire 2023. So he did the interview because he wanted to promote him being on tour, and he expected you to drop the interview while he was on tour 2023. But you waited. So he even has tour dates he had tour dates 2024. He had basically tour dates all 2023. Katt Williams was putting that work in. But you more than likely knew that he did an interview with the Shay Shay Room. That's the reason why you sandbagged the interview. Because if you sandbagging the interview just to be doing it, it hurt Katt Williams. But you would have sandbagged it if you would have known, okay, Katt Williams is doing an interview, not just 2023, but also 2024, and he's going to have interviews with other content creators who are larger and more popular than you. So I'm going to sandbag my interview so that it trends better on the internet. That could be the only reason. You had to have known the information that Katt Williams was going to be doing interviews with other content creators. And that's the reason why you sandbagged the interview. Because it couldn't have been because of editing. If you said that I did the interview months prior and I held it because of editing, it don't take 2 months to edit something. Now, if you said, well, because of legal reasons, okay, you would have said that. And we could have respected that. But you sandbagged the interview that you claimed took place before the Shay Shay Room interview, more than likely because you knew Katt Williams did the Shay Shay Room and you wanted the trend with Shannon Sharpe. See, when you play in our face like this, those of us who remember you from being with the Ghetto Boys, we remember you from your rap days, PWA, it makes us kind of lose a little bit of respect because on one breath you're saying to not hold you to the standards of being a journalist. Okay, you're not a journalist. You keep saying, I'm not a journalist, I'm not a journalist. So an actual journalist would be a news analyst. This is all from BLS.gov, U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. So they're saying that a journalist is a news analyst, reporter, journalist, typically with a bachelor's degree to enter the occupation. Internship or work experience on a college newspaper, radio station, or television station also may be helpful. Willie D, you've been in the music and entertainment industry for decades. You have the experience of a journalist. You just don't have the degree. But you don't need the degree if you have the work experience. You have been interviewed by journalists. You've talked to journalists. You got friends who are journalists. You know what they do. You know what right looks like, or at least you should. Now, what if you're saying, well, no, I don't have a degree. I don't really want to do all that. Okay. Let's just say you don't have a degree. You don't have all that stuff. What if you want to be independent? Well, an independent journalist, I don't have it pulled up, but an independent journalist is just somebody who has the experience but doesn't have the degree. It's very simple. Now, you saying, well, I'm not a journalist, so you all should give me grace. understand that when you get into the world of being a content creator and a content producer, it's a contact sport. It's a contact sport.
Pays to win, still loses.
And so with it being a contact sport, you on your platform criticizing other celebrities, criticizing other people, giving your critique, you can't get sensitive once people start coming for you. Right, Willie D just needs to hold this L and stop copping pleas. Exactly. He also stole Shannon's excuse for not asking good interview questions. Exactly. He came up with excuses with the nah, I'm not a journalist. Nah, I'm new to this. Nah, don't hold me to a higher standard. Nah, don't judge me for the fact that I'm a celebrity and I got my notoriety and my traction without having to put forth the effort because I was already in the industry. Nah. You want me to stay in your place. Nah. Y'all always hating on your own. Black people always hating on black people. It's always your own. Nah. Batman. Yeah, so Willie D has joined the sensitive crew. Being sensitive, he gets a little bit of criticism, the same criticism he dishes out day in and day out. Now he's like, not too fast, not too hard, slow down on the scene. Slow down, you're hurting me. And we're looking at him like, well, wait a minute. We thought you were this tough rapper. You've been in the industry for a long time. No mo talk. You got the advertisement before you do your broadcast about being the wise guy, helping people get their stuff. So you mean to tell me that now that the tables have turned on you and now you are in the hot seat, now all of a sudden you want us to grade you on a curve? No, sir. You got in bed as a content creator. A lot of celebrities have. I say more the merrier. We should all step our game up, maybe even work together and collaborate. But you got in bed as a content creator, content producer, because you saw the dollar signs. You saw that you could connect with the fans directly and use that to promote your other ventures and projects. You and other celebrities have joined the social media landscape, I'm going to say over a decade ago, and you all have rose to higher status and even rejuvenated and recycled your careers to a younger audience using social media. Now all of a sudden you're getting the same medicine that you've been giving out, and all of a sudden you're like, no. I don't want it. Too late, you've already gotten bed.
What I mean by that is, besides Shannon and I having completely different interview styles,
right?
All the comedians that previously made comments on Shannon's show that Katt took offense to were part of a bigger theme. Katt went to that show with a chip on his shoulder. I did not have that dynamic. I've interviewed many comedians.
But think about it like this, okay? So you did your interview months prior. I'm willing to bet that you knew that he was going to go on the Shay Shay Room and do what he did. Why are you upset at us for saying that your interview that you purposely put out right after the Shay Shay Room, if we're telling you is lackluster and you basically just did it for the views, you can't be mad at us because you sandbagged it because you wanted to trend with the Shay Shay Room. But the problem is your interview that you said was going to be better than the Shay Shay Room turned out to be worse. Yeah, it turned out to be worse. And you can't be mad at us that you basically was like, hey, this is going to be part 2 of the movie trilogy, and it turned out to suck. No, you can't do that. Yeah.
No. But most of the comedians, most of the people that Katt spoke on,
okay,
well, at least several people that he had spoken on had been on Club Shay Shay already. And
Right.
Katt took offense to some of the things that they said. And so he went there with a chip on his shoulder.
But see, okay, if you would have done your research and watched the Shay Shay room before Katt Williams got on there, back when you did your interview allegedly, you would have asked those questions of stuff that was said about him. That's the point. The point is that Shannon Sharpe heard what the other comedians were saying about Katt Williams because they came on his platform and said it. You had access to the same content that everyone else, including Shannon Sharpe, had access to. You could have asked that stuff, but you chose not to. See, by you saying that you did the interview before Shannon Sharpe did the interview with Katt Williams, it makes you look soft, because that stuff has been out there for at least a year. You chose to not address that stuff. And now that we're saying that you didn't address it because you're soft, because you're weak, you're saying, well, y'all are uncivilized mutts. Wow. Just because you did not want to be a content creator today, when you decided to interview Katt Williams and ask him about what people have been asking him about, now all of a sudden you're blaming it on us for wasting time seeing an interview that you sandbagged, that you said was going to be better than Club Shay Shay, and it turned out it was horribly not.
Emotional damage.
Right, even Katt Williams himself said his interview questions were sick, had sucked, and he called him Vlad. Yeah, well, I would even say that Willie D's even at the level of Vlad, because Vlad gets people caught up. Because when it comes to an interview, if you're like, well, I'm not a journalist, journalists tend to be professional. They tend to have considerations, but they are trying to get to the truth. So the person is coming on, let's just say 2020, 60 Minutes. They're coming on there to address a situation, and the investigative journalist, the broadcaster, whoever, is trying to ask questions about the situation. Katt Williams came on to your platform just to be coming on. But he came on because he had a tour going on. He came on to promote his tour. That's what he did. He came on to promote his tour, not to necessarily address something, but you could have brought it up and you chose not to. So because you did not bring it up, now you mad at us.
What? What the fuck?
Now, I could not have planned something like that.
Yes, you could have.
If Katt had came on my show and started going off like that, I probably would have dialed it back, because invariably people are going to have differences.
Right.
They're going to come on the show, they're going to have differences with people, and they're going to speak on it from time.
But why would you dial it back when every time you do your own content and you're talking about celebrities, trending topics, you don't hold any punches. So if you're not holding any punches, talking about no more talk, talking about the wise guys, if you're yourself are not holding any punches, why would you have someone else hold punches? What you're saying doesn't make sense. It's almost like you're trying to give excuses as to why we're critiquing you, saying that your interview was lackluster and your numbers are not doing as good. It's no different than when a music artist puts out an album, and when they're doing interviews, they start off with the excuses as to why it wasn't better. They hit you with, well, you know, this and that. And then by them giving out the excuses, it's almost like softening the blow. If you were going to give the excuses, you should have gave the excuses before you dropped it, not afterwards, and you're starting to get the feedback.
Time. But I have a slightly different style when it comes to things like that. I try to get an understanding when there's beef between people that I know, or even when there's a situation where I'm unfamiliar with.
So in other words, you're all about critiquing people in the industry unless it's people you like. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. So we know now that whenever you go in on someone or you're giving a particular angle, such as defending a victim's inability to be able to bring a lawsuit against the accuser if she claims to be violated. You said that there should be a cutoff, and accusers should not be able to go back decades or a decade to be able to sue someone. See, you were all for picking a side on that. And I think it's because you were either going against, the accusers are going against your friends, or it's because maybe you have something in the closet. Allegedly. We don't know. But it's got to be one of the two, because you definitely are picking sides when you talk about stories. And if you're against the person you're talking about, it's clear you go in on them. And this is the problem that we content creators have with you celebrities coming on masquerading as content creators, because you all are wishy-washy. You're 1 foot in, you're 1 foot out, you're given the opportunity to talk to people and talk about stuff, and you're kind of tiptoeing with it. You're also even running interference. That's the problem we have, that these celebrities, they're putting on the emperor's new clothes, masquerading like they're content creators, and all they are people who are sucking up the traffic that could go to people who have something to say that's worth listening to, versus people seeing a celebrity talk about a subject, and now you're taking all the traffic. So you can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out if you're going to be a content creator, content producer. That's why I say, you're saying not too fast, not too harsh, slow down. All of a sudden, when instead of you masquerading as a content creator, you're treated like a content creator.
There's drama and I know about it. If I speak on it, I try to quell the noise. I try to dial it back and try to get an understanding. Understanding that you're not always going to get an.
Well, you get an understanding by asking questions. See, you whether the interview was done before the Shay Shay Room or afterwards, you had access to the videos on the Shay Shay Room where Katt Williams was talking about the stuff with the Kings of Comedy and other people. So if you wanted to quell the situation, you could have asked the questions, and you could have provided defense or ran interference like you wanted to, instead of just kind of like leaving stuff out.
That was sus.
An understanding. Sometimes people just don't like people, and that's the way it's going to be. Now, like I said, most of the time, if something like that happens, I'm going to try to dial it back. Unless it's somebody I just don't like Steve Harvey. We got that in common, me and Katt.
So if you don't like Steve Harvey, why not just let him go in on Steve Harvey and ask the questions? See, what you're saying doesn't make sense. You're basically trying to protect people. And if you were trying to protect people, then just say that. But don't protect people, run interference, suck up all of the traffic as far as social media when talking about a story, the same story that smaller content creators are talking about. And then when you get criticized for running interference, for playing softball, for being 1 foot in, 1 foot out, when it comes to people you like, don't address us as uncivilized mutts. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the part that's weird about this, is that we're calling you out for what you're doing. You know what you're doing, but all of a sudden we weak.
You starting off the stream nice and calm and mellow, like a weak ass nigga, trying to get some trying to keep a bish.
And Mark Curry got that in common. We don't rock with that dude. And so if Katt would have started speaking on him on my show, get him. Unwind, let loose, let it go.
Wow.
But it would not still have been the same style interview, because if you pay attention to both interviews, my interview was more about Katt Williams, the man, the person,
right?
His upbringing, his triumphs, his setbacks, than other comedians. Shannon interview that he did was.
But see, the thing is there's no reason for you to have sandbagged it. You're going to say that you did the interview months prior. Katt Williams was on tour. Why wouldn't you drop it while he's on tour if it's about Katt Williams the person, and not about dropping it when you know it's going to trend? Sir, we know you're lying. You know you're lying. I don't know why you're making this video to protect or whatever as far as how your video did, unless you're just being sensitive.
Your team sucks.
Explosive. I don't think I could have captured that if he had came on my show and I had put that, if I had had that same type of energy from him.
Well, you wouldn't have captured it because you would have dialed it back, like you just said. So if you know you would have dialed it back if he would have started to amp up like that, don't get on here calling us uncivilized mutts by critiquing and dragging your lackluster interview, sir.
I don't think y'all would have gotten 40, 50 million views from that, because that's just simply not my style. When I do interviews, I try to get to know the guest. I try to get you guys to know it, because my goal is to bring information and instructions to help y'all navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world. That's what I do. Try to give you a more insightful look of the guest, give you more information, ask some questions that you probably never even heard. Now, but bigger than all of this, some of the biggest complaints that some of y'all are having is, well, you ask the same questions that Shannon asked, and da-da-da. But what most of y'all don't have any idea of is my interview was done prior to Shannon releasing his interview. I did the interview first. In fact, I spoke with Katt a couple of days ago, and he revealed to me that he did the Shannon Sharp interview after. Now, I had the interview in the can for a couple of months. The reason why I was holding it because I have a new venture that is launching this month. And my plan was to put out the Katt Williams interview at the top of the year. And use it to launch my new venture. To go with that interview first. I got a lot of other explosive interviews. You've seen the Mark Curry interview is out right now. Dope, super dope interview. But I was going to launch with the Katt Williams interview. When I looked up and saw Shannon had already put out his interview, which I had no idea that he had an interview on Katt. Katt told me about it.
So what's the new venture? Because when watching your content, all you've talked about is the video, the interview you did with Katt Williams that's going to be coming up. And you've done the advertisement for the Wise Guys. Is the Wise Guys thing the new venture? Like, what's the new venture? Because the new venture would have nothing to do with the content on your channel, because you've been doing content on your channel for over a year. So doing content on your channel wouldn't be the new venture, and it wouldn't be a reason to sandbag the interview for anything new that's coming out. And then if you were going to put out something new, we would know about it before this thing you're doing about uncivilized mutts. I mean, it's January 12th. When is this new venture going to come out? It should have came out the same time you released the interview, same time you did Mark Curry. It's just excuses, basically.
That Katt said that he should have gave me a heads up that he had did that the Shannon interview was coming, but I guess he didn't really think to give me a heads up, because he was thinking to himself, well, he's been sitting on the interview a couple of months, I don't know what he's gonna do, whatever, but I'm going to do this interview with Shannon. So when I saw the Shannon interview, my first reaction is, whoa, like everybody else. But from a business standpoint, I'm going, whoa, because now this throws a monkey wrench into my business plans. So my first instinct is to hold the interview for 2 or 3 months. That's what I was going to do. I was going to hold.
Okay, think about what you just said. When you saw, let's you're catching yourself up. See, you should have wrote a script. You should have wrote a script. Because you just said that from a business standpoint, you held the interview as a business decision. But how could you hold it if you didn't know about the Shay Shay room? Because let's look at the timeline. Let's look at the timeline. So your Katt Williams interview came out 3 days ago on January 9th. Okay. Club Shay Shay's interview came out that has 45 million views. It came out 9 days ago. That's January 3rd. So how could you have seen Club Shay Shay's interview and said you're going to hold it for a few months and you just dropped the interview you did with Katt Williams? It's mathematically impossible for you to see the interview in January and say you're going to hold the interview that you did with Katt Williams for a few months and you just dropped it. It's mathematically impossible. See, this is what happens when celebrities who become content creators don't have managers that are used to managing content creators. Because you let them talk long enough, they're going to put their foot in their mouth. They're going to talk themselves into exposing their lie.
Hold the interview for 2 or 3 months and wait till all of this stuff cool down.
Well, think about it. You were planning on holding the interview for 2 or 3 months, but you didn't because you wanted to trend. So whether we believe that you did the interview a few months ago, which is possible, and you were waiting for this venture, if we believe that, you put your interview out with Club Shay Shay's interview because you wanted to get some of those millions of views. And you've done that. But understand, you're going to open yourself up for criticism, and you can't be sensitive. You can't be sensitive.
Bruh.
I was going to hold it and wait till all of this stuff cooled down.
Okay. But
then I said, well, you know, what if I hold it?
What if you hold it?
And somebody else beat me to the punch again. So at that point, I made an executive decision to drop my interview. Now, as I said, you could take that exact same interview and put it out, and it still wouldn't have done the type of numbers that Shannon did because that was a different dynamic at play.
Okay.
Different things are going on within the context of the interview in that Shannon interview that was not going on in mine.
Right.
The stars aligned. That was a juggernaut interview. That's something that don't happen. 40, 50 million views for one video, an interview. That don't happen for podcasts in the podcast world. That was a juggernaut. So when I decided to put my interview out, here y'all come. Well, why you wait till Shannon put his interview out before you put yours out? You cloud chasing.
You are cloud chasing. You just explained a clout chase. What you did, sir, as a content creator, is you clout chase. There's nothing wrong with clout chasing. We're all out here trying to grow and this and that. You basically did that to chase the clout that Shannon Sharpe and Katt Williams created from their interview. Sir, you just explained it, and now you're surprised that people are calling it out.
Let me ask your silly ass something. What would you have done? Let's say you got a Katt Williams interview in the can.
You're sitting here arguing with trolls and people who are not content creators. And you're exposing yourself. That's why you don't chase down a lie. That's why you don't go back and forth with people, because just like Katt Williams, just like Steve Harvey said about Katt Williams in the beginning when they had their initial beef. And it makes sense. So dogs don't bark at parked vehicles. They bark at vehicles that are moving. Dogs will bark at something that's stationary, like the moon. If the moon barks or howls back, the dog is famous. So all these people, Willie D, that are in your comment section, they're trolling you, talking crap, they're hoping you address them so they become famous.
And somebody drop a video and the video go haywire.
Okay.
Millions and millions of damn views.
Millions and millions.
What would you do with your interview? Would you sit there and wait like I had planned to do, initially? Or would you go, you know what? Shit, man, the wave is already in the water. Let me ride this damn thing.
Let me cloud
The wave
chase.
is already in the water. Let me get on it.
Let me cloud chase.
I have
Exactly.
no shame for doing that. You do.
Well, if you have no shame, then why are you calling us uncivilized mutts? You the one that's addressing we the people, we that are regular and not famous. On here as content creators trying to make a living, trying to grow. You're addressing us.
You have done as a businessman. That's what I want to know. Because if you say that you would have done anything different, I would believe that you are lying ass.
We think you lying.
And if you would have done anything different, it would explain why you probably are not good at business, why you are probably struggling financially.
Ooh.
Clout chasing.
Clout chasing.
I already got clout, sucker.
You do.
I don't chase nothing.
We know.
On me. I gotta get knee surgery. So I ain't chasing nothing. The same people talking down on me about my interview are many of the same people who's talking down on Shannon. Y'all remember when Shannon's video first, before I dropped my video, how so much energy was focused on how bad Shannon's interview was? His interview skills, and he ain't talking enough. He asking the wrong questions. Y'all remember that? Now all of a sudden, they on my page saying how Shannon should have gotten that interview. He should have went to Shannon and did Shannon Club Shay Shay. How Shannon did the interview was so much better. It's the same people who's talking shit about Shannon is over here talking shit about me. Let me tell y'all something.
Okay.
I ain't no damn journalist. Never claimed to be. Never ever once said that I was a journalist. I cover news, but to me, a journalist is somebody who went to school and got a degree to do it. You know.
Well, independent journalist or a freelance journalist did not go to school. Anybody could be an independent journalist or a freelance journalist. Anybody can be that. I'm pretty sure you do research and consult with people to prevent from being sued when you give your commentary. And I'm pretty sure you're going to say, because I've already watched this, that you reached out to larger content creators to figure out what to do. So you more than likely have talked with journalists in your career. So you know what right looks like. That's how you were saying previously that if there's a beef with someone and you like them, you're not going to ask questions or you're going to try to diffuse the situation or steer the thing away because you have a professional understanding at the level of a journalist, the do's and don'ts of the industry that you've been in for decades. See, right now you're playing in our face. You're playing in our face, and that's the reason why we're making the stream.
Perhaps I'm wrong in my definition, but that's, like a person that's learned, that went to school and to do all of that stuff. That ain't my style. I ain't no damn Ed Bradley. Don't bring y'all asses over to my channel looking for some Ed Bradley shit, because you ain't gonna get it. I don't care. Don't come over here. Don't bring your rat ass over here looking for no Shannon Sharp shit. You ain't gonna get it. You're gonna get some Willie D. Love it or hate it. I got my own lane. I do me.
Oh, he big mad. Right. Shannon Sharp did say the exact same thing while he was being criticized. And the thing about it is they're using that as like an excuse to not be better. They're using it as an excuse not to improve their skills. Because the thing about it is, Willie D being a rapper, when he was a rapper and he was, a producer and helping people with their music, he was able to be himself, but he had to improve and grow to reach notoriety. Same thing with Shannon Sharp. For him to be a Hall of Fame tight end, win Super Bowls, he had to improve his craft. So now they're both in the realm of being a content creator. And all of a sudden they want to say, well, yeah, we did improve in the music game. We did improve on the football field, but we're not trying to improve being a content creator. And this is where the insult is because if you're going to be a content creator, if you're going to get in bed and be a content creator, then have the same work ethic you gave to the music industry and to the football field to this craft. Because you being celebrities coming on here, masquerading as content creators, you understand that you're basically taking food out of people's mouths. I'm gonna say it.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
You make it harder for the average person to grow and take it from a hobby to a business, or if they have a business, to stay in business or grow themselves, because you're on here and you're providing competition. Nothing wrong with that. But the critique that we have is if you're going to be competition, at least be someone worth competing with, like Katt Williams says. Because you're going to get the numbers, you're going to get the notoriety, you already have the fame, but there's areas where you suck. Yeah, and so we're providing feedback so you can improve. And we can have something worth reacting to versus you going and having a meltdown.
I would advise you to do
okay.
You.
Right.
Some of y'all asses are just messy.
Woo.
That's right, I said it. Some of y'all are just messy. Y'all want the drama.
So let me get this straight. When you critique people and critique trending topics, it's okay for you to do it. But when you become a trending topic and people critique you, now they're being messy. Okay.
But I don't do drama.
Okay.
I do information and instructions to help my people navigate through this wild, crazy.
You doing drama right now. You doing drama right now.
Beautiful world.
Okay.
I don't even necessarily do interviews. I have conversations.
You do.
And when you have conversations, sometimes you're going to mispronounce a word.
Right.
Unfortunately, I mispronounced a word and we looked it in the editing. And the word was prosperity. And I think I said prosperity. Now, obviously, I know how to pronounce prosperity, but they all in the comments. Look, he don't even know how to talk. Say it with me, Willie D. 1, 2, 3. Prosperity.
It's called the block button. If you are that butthurt by the peanut gallery, as the Faith Factor calls them, then just block them.
Just leave it.
Right. Just leave it or block or just delete the comment. You don't have to be all sensitive. Right. So at least Shannon can say he got 50 million views. Exactly. So yeah, if you're going to be sensitive, then just block them. Your problem is you don't want to block people. You want to read every comment, get in your feelings, be sensitive. And it's coming across as being, now this is not me talking. This is other people talking, but people are going to say that this is feminine behavior.
These nuts.
I'm just saying they're gonna say that. I'm not saying it. They're gonna say it. I'm just telling you that they gonna say it. They're gonna say that you are in your feelings, you being sensitive. This is weak, and they're gonna say this is feminine behavior. I'm just saying brace for impact. I know you're gonna do a Uncivilized Mutts Part 2, and if you do that, that's one thing you can address is why you're getting all emotional.
Finish him.
Like y'all dumbasses ain't never made a mistake pronouncing a word. Obviously, I know how to pronounce prosperity. I wrote a political satire column for Vice.com.
He wrote a column? Sir, you are a journalist. Do you understand that based off what we know and based off what you're saying, you are a journalist, sir? Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
I wrote for 4.5 years an advice column for the Houston.
4.5 years. Sound like a journalist to me.
Have come to me for articles that I have published.
Mm-hmm.
My editor told me many times that I was the best writer he's ever had. And I'm not even...
Dude, you are a journalist. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
Uh-oh, stinky.
Dude, the more you talk, the more you sound like you are a journalist. And what it was you just saw people criticizing you. Usually you're in your bubble. Today you got out your bubble. Okay, you stopped being bubble boy for a second. You saw the comments, and instead of you improving your craft, stepping your game up, you're making excuses. Uh-oh. Yeah, just making excuses. This is unbecoming of you. Unbecoming.
Emotional damage.
Educated in writing like that. I'm self-taught. I didn't go to college for all of that. I learned by listening, watching, and doing. My editor told me I was the best writer he had ever had. I think the Houston Press at that time had been around about 40 years. Because when I would deliver my articles, there was very little editing that needed to be done. I delivered 4 responses every single week. for 4.5 years, never missed a week. Discipline. 4.5 years, I delivered that column.
Okay.
Those articles for that column for 4.5 years, every single week. Didn't skip 1 week.
Journalist.
And at the most, he's probably had to edit anything that I've done 2 or 3 times a month.
Journalist.
Now, anybody, any of you scholars out there know that's damn good work. That's damn good.
Yes, it is. Journalist.
My interview style is having conversations with interesting people. I like to sit down and have conversations with interesting people.
Then do you.
Conversations.
Then just
no,
do
I don't
you.
have no cue cards. Ain't nothing wrong with cue cards. But I'm not even good with cue cards. I
Then
like
just
to have
do
a
you.
conversation just go off the top of the head. I don't want to ask something structured because sometimes you can have questions, that gets answered, as you go along, or that you might have a question on your cue card that as you have the conversation, you realize that question ain't even necessary. So now you might stumble over some, or it takes you longer to ask the next question than you need to take. It takes longer than it needs to take.
Sounds like journalistic skills to me. Wow.
So I don't do cue cards. I'm better just coming off the top of the dome, having a conversation with someone, just like if I was to call a friend and talk on the phone about various issues, problems, or subject matters.
Okay.
So when I asked Katt Williams about Ali Sadiq, let's get to that. Some of y'all was like, well, who is Ali Sadiq? He ain't nobody. Never heard of him. I ain't never heard of Ali Sadiq. Who is that? That ain't nobody. He ain't nobody. He ain't nobody to you.
Woo.
He mean the world to a lot of people. I know people, I learn of new people every day on the internet that I've never heard of. And I look up, and this person got 5 million followers, 10 million subscribers. I ain't never heard of him.
Ain't never heard of him.
Because that's how big the World Wide Web is.
It's big.
Just because you ain't heard of somebody don't mean that they're not somebody.
Right.
Some of y'all be talking like y'all just the shit, like y'all some type of major authority on interviewing skills, like y'all just interview police. Like,
get them.
How dare you stumble on that word? How dare you not look at what's going on with your lighting? Y'all ass be looking at all kinds of shit, commenting and laughing and giggling and stuff. But now you get on with it.
Well, yeah, when you're a content creator, you got to worry about lighting, microphone, sound. See, the problem is that you're just jumped out there as a content creator or content producer. You're masquerading as one, whether you realize it or not. Sound like a journalist to me. And people are pointing out stuff that should be basic. But the thing is, you don't really want to improve on the craft. You're almost like a culture vulture. You want to wear the cornrows, but don't want to know the significance of them or the history. You want to wear braids. You want to talk like a black girl. You want to, do all the culture vulture stuff that culture vultures do without giving respect to those that created it. See, to you, Mr. D, you think that giving respect to people in the game would be like people who are famous, people who are, comedians, rich and famous, other rappers, celebrities. You also have to give or pay homage to content creators who are smaller than you, who have been doing it longer, who haven't received the notoriety and traction you have because you came in as a celebrity. You want to pay those people their respect. So if they're coming and they're saying, hey, your lighting sucks, work on your lighting. Microphone sucks, work on your microphone. Editing at this part was not so good. You should accept that constructive feedback, not necessarily to improve, but also to pay homage to those who created the lane that you're in. Because the main reason that you've come on the social media and are making money and you're able to rejuvenate your career and have multiple streams of income is because of regular smegular people who came before you. So it's an insult that while people are giving you constructive criticism to improve your game and help you along, that you're looking back and saying, you know what, you uncivilized mutts. Yeah, just disrespectful.
Willie D platform, you watch a Willie D interview, and now everything just wrong. Y'all don't like my clothes. Y'all don't like my nose. You don't like my head. You don't like my bald head. You don't like the lighting. You don't like the sound. You don't like nothing.
Just block them or delete the comment. See, what it is, I think you have these insecurities. You've been had the insecurities. It's just that they're just been boiling up inside of you, and now it's exploding. Because all this screams insecure. It screams sensitive. It screams you had a chip on your shoulder. Maybe you didn't have the career that you wanted to have. Maybe you'd rather be doing something else, but you have to do this. Who knows? But the fact that you're not blocking people, you're not deleting comments, and you're letting it get to you is more than likely that this is stuff that's been bothering you for a while, and this is just the time for you to finally address it. It looks sad. It looks very, very sad.
You suck.
So I get it. I get it. Everything ain't everybody's cup of tea. But
right.
You wouldn't go to Burger King and look up at a menu and say, man, this is a trash ass place. Look at all these burgers. I ain't got no burgers up on the damn menu. That's all.
People do that all the time. It's called reviews. People do reviews all the time and say this place is trash. It sucks. Yeah, they do it all the time. What are you talking about? The problem is you probably have never gotten criticism, and this is new to you. Well, welcome to the world of being a content creator. We'll see how long you last.
They got his burgers on the menu. This is a trash ass place. I don't know. Some of y'all might do that. Some of y'all so slow, you might do it. Many people find the stock market news to be boring.
Okay.
It's slow. It's pregnant pauses.
What does the stock market got to do with people critiquing your interview? Okay, let's just go down the rabbit hole. Let's go.
In a lot of the conversations. Many people find it boring to read the stock market.
Okay.
Many people find it boring to watch it. But guess what? Most of the people who follow the stock market do pretty good financially. Most of the people who can...
Wait a minute now. There was this whole 2008 where Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac had to bail people out because the government and the financial institutions were scamming people. That was all in the news. And then before that, you had the stock market crash. There's a recession almost all the time. People lose their 401ks and IRAs in the stock market. Willie D, you need to cut it. You need to cut it. This rabbit hole you're going down, I understand what you're trying to do, but you're not doing it.
Sit down and listen to a Willie D interview.
Okay.
Do pretty well socially. That's right. I said it. Some of y'all are just uncivilized mutts who are too hot in the head, too hot in the ass to slow down and listen to a relaxed conversation between people.
Wow.
You want to hear the mess. You want to hear the drama. Ask him about it. Ask him about it. You don't care nothing about the guests. You don't care nothing about how Katt. Y'all faking. Some of y'all straight up faking. Y'all don't care nothing about Katt Williams. Y'all don't care how Katt Williams grew up. You don't care nothing about the struggles that Katt Williams had. All you care about is Katt Williams airing people out. You don't care nothing about that man's health. You don't care nothing about his safety. You don't care nothing about his kids. You're faking. Y'all like drama. That's what it is. You like drama. You want drama. When Katt said that I was the worst, that I had the worst questions ever, some of you uncivilized mutts couldn't wait to run into the comments. Yeah, Katt even said he had the worst questions answered. Worst questions answered ever. Some of y'all made videos. Katt checks Willie D. Who the hell gonna come on my show and check me? Where they do that at? I got the editing. At the end of the day, I control the editing. You think I'm gonna let somebody make me look bad? And on top of that, think. Katt is a thinker. Katt does his research. Katt ain't like a lot of you regular ass slowpokes.
Kill-tacular, Kilimanjaro, kill-pocalypse.
The man is a walking encyclopedia. Katt don't sit down with anybody. He don't sit down with just anybody. And he's not gonna sit down with you unless he do his homework on you. Katt told me that he had watched other videos of mine already. But before that, Katt already was familiar with me as an artist, as a person. He was already familiar with me. So he wasn't going to just sit down with anybody. So why would he sit down? If he's seen my interviews already, if he already seen my interviews, if he already know how I rock, he already know what kind of person I am. He know my reputation. Why would he sit down with me and say, you asked the worst question? Why would he sit down with a person who asks the worst questions ever? Why would he purposely do that? See, some of y'all asses, see, that was a tongue-in-cheek.
It's called being condescending. It's called insulting someone without insulting someone, playing in their face. Sarcasm, if you will. Because see, you all were not going back and forth like he's done when he's roasted people in the past. That's the reason why he wasn't like, you know, going in on you. But yeah, it's called sarcasm. People were pointing out the sarcasm. Now, you may have overlooked it, and that's cool. Nothing wrong with that, but that's what he was doing. He was pointing out sarcasm. But what you want us to do is to ignore the sarcasm, not say nothing, nothing to see here. No, it's sarcasm. Yep.
Response. When he said you asked the worst questions ever, I did what most rational people do when he said that. I gave him the benefit of doubt without even thinking about giving him the benefit of doubt that he, because I'm glad, you know, and I ain't have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have no problem with that because from time to time, you're going to ask questions that people want to know the answers to. And sometimes you're going to be curious. You want to know the answers to. I wanted to know what happened with the Suge Knight and the Katt Williams story where they was arrested and they had to go to court. And I wanted to know what that was about. So I asked them about it. Yeah, Katt called him bad. Man. I took it as a tongue-in-cheek response because I asked Katt about some things that he wasn't prepared to talk about. And to his credit, he talked about it anyway. Any of you that had a problem with my line of questioning, all you have to do is ask Katt the questions you want answers to when you do your interview with Katt Williams. But guess what? You ain't gonna get no interview with Katt Williams because your ass ain't qualified. Woo, that's right, I said it.
There it is.
See, some of y'all would actually have
big me, little you. But see, Willie D, okay. Understand if you're gonna do the big me, little you, that's your choice. But you're addressing the little U's. So now you either bring the little U's up to your level or you have stooped down to their level. And that's why right now you're looking small.
Game over.
More in life if you wasn't such a damn hater. Some of y'all would have more subscribers on YouTube if you wasn't such a damn hater. You get more bees with honey than you do vinegar.
So the reason why you don't have views, not because of the algorithm, not because of the system being unfair, but it's because you're a hater. It's because you're a hater. Wow.
Unfrickin' believable.
So if you all want to grow, stop being a hater. Okay.
When I was in the YouTube, trying to come up in YouTube, I reached out to the guys that was doing better than me, and I asked them what to do. I asked for guidance. I reached out to Jake. I reached out.
But see, you understand that reaching out to a larger content creator for advice, they're not going to give it unless they like you because you're competition. But they allowed you to go through the gate and ask those questions because you're already a celebrity. They want to be able to tell their followers and their people, Willie D came to me for advice. See, what you're doing, Willie D, is you're doing the same thing that people who come from families that have been rich for over 100 years, and they tell people, well, pull yourself up by your bootstrap. And when you point out things like systemic oppression, Jim Crow, that has stifled a lot of families from being able to not just build, but keep stuff, because you're burning stuff down, and Rosewood, burning stuff down when it comes to Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. When you're doing stuff like that, it keeps us from being able to not just grow, but to keep stuff. And when they're like, well, if you weren't such a hater and you would work hard and wouldn't be lazy, you too would be rich. And ignoring all of the systems that are in place to keep people from growing. And that's what Willie D is doing right now. He is a part of the problem when it comes to your average person who's a content creator being able to grow. Because Willie D's doing a big me, little you. And I'm willing to bet that if you've done a video about Willie D, he has talked to someone about you, and you probably are blacklisted, whether you know it or not.
Slayer.
That's because he's gotten in his feelings. Because he seems like the type to do something like that, where he will blacklist you, keep you from growing, to quote unquote teach you a lesson, in addition to calling you an uncivilized mutt.
To feel. And I asked him, hey man, how you do this? Talking about Phil Scott. How do you do this? How do you do that? What do you do with this? What do you do with that? And they gave me guidance until I figured it out. And then sometimes now I have people who come to me for guidance.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you have to pay for that advice? Because normally they will charge you thousands of dollars for advice that you can basically get on YouTube for free. But the problem is not really the advice and implementing it. It's the fact that there are human moderators on YouTube that pick winners and losers. If you want to know who they're picking to win, go to YouTube's Instagram page. That's who they're picking to win. They handpick people to grow, and they handpick people to slow, and they handpick people and say no. They pick winners and losers. So you are able to get around those gatekeepers because you're already famous. And I'm not knocking your celebrity or your success. It's just that the way you're talking to the uncivilized mutts, you're no better than the rich people who are part of the dominant society, thumbing their finger down on black and brown people, saying you should be pulling yourself up from your bootstrap. If you weren't lazy and you weren't criminals, you'd be able to have something. And when you say, well, I would have something if my dad was around. Well, your dad is sorry. He should have stayed there. Well, but my dad became strange fruit because of people like you. And you never made our family whole. You burnt down Black Wall Street. You never made us whole. We were enslaved as a people, and systems were put in place to keep us from growing and from being able to prosper, and you never made us whole. How about you give us reparations, and then we could create our own YouTube, and we could do things our way and not have to worry about the barriers that are in place. Well, who's going to pay for it? I'm not paying for it. And that's the point. What Willie D is doing is the black version of what he preaches against that people from the dominant society do. That's why it's, when it comes to white supremacy, it's also black inferiority. Because someone like Willie D, who's thumbing his finger down at people for criticizing him, the big me, little you, is no different than what Jonathan Majors did with Grace Jabari. It's just no different. And then they'll come up and say, well, we all got to come together, all got to stick together. And he's referring to uncivilized mutts the Friday before Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. It's a big mess. And the problem is that people get egos, they get in their feelings, and they want to start talking down, as opposed to looking down on someone only when picking them up.
Now, they could take that low road like some of y'all do and go make your little shitty videos, talking shit, trying to talk down, because you're hating, because don't nobody pay attention to people that's doing worse than them. So you can go do that.
But you're paying attention. So if you're paying attention to the uncivilized mutts, they can't be doing too bad then.
But you come out a whole lot better if you realize that you get more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. Some of y'all, all y'all do every day is wake up and go into attack mode, especially attacking your own people.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Some of y'all wake up every day and y'all just attack, y'all go in on black males.
Uh-oh.
All day, every day.
What you do, dumbass?
But you dudes got it bad. Y'all got it bad.
Ooh.
Some of y'all got it real bad. That's your whole hustle. Mm-hmm. Looking at a dude, a black man is doing better than you and trying to drag him down. That's what you do. I see what you're doing. But some of your people that follow you are too slow to see what you're doing.
So now the black men that are doing that are bad. Their followers are slow. Okay. Well, at least he's not referring to black women. Black women are safe. Okay.
They be right there with them, and then some of them know what you're doing. They see what you're doing, but they like it because they just like you.
Okay.
I've been interviewing people on YouTube for about 7 years. I've been doing podcasts for I'm talking about audio podcasts with the videos, about 3 years.
Okay.
I had a talk radio show in Houston, on the biggest radio station in Houston.
Okay.
So it's something about me that resonates with audiences.
Yep.
I got one of the biggest channels on YouTube. There's something about the way I communicate that resonates with people. I've interviewed not presidents, let me back up, a president. I've interviewed FBI agents.
Okay.
Athletes, rappers, singers, people in the healthcare profession.
Sounds like a journalist to me.
Did I mention politicians, lawyers, school teachers, and people that work in the clergy? Pretty much people who represents every single institution in America. I've interviewed those people. I've interviewed scholars.
Okay.
And I'd like to say, I ain't got to like to think because I know I hold my own pretty damn well.
Okay.
So I ain't never had no issues, no real problems. You know, there's always somebody that's going to not like it or whatever. But ironically, since I went viral, now that I have a viral moment, because that's all it is, it's just a moment. I'm not going to be on top forever. I'm not going to be right at the top forever. I'm not going to be the talk of the town forever. It's just a moment. I get it. It's just a moment. That's all it is. But some of you riding motherfuckers, y'all trying to pick apart everything that I do all of a sudden. A lot of y'all been knowing I've been making these videos. Y'all been knowing I'm doing interviews. Y'all know. But y'all wait till I get a viral moment. And here y'all come because you want to be seen. You trolls. I do not like trolls. And let's get it straight. Some of you trolls got YouTube channels. I don't like trolls because trolls are hoes. Some of y'all use my video to be disrespectful of me. Some of y'all use my video. Y'all took my video and the video I own. I have sole proprietorship over. Y'all use my video to disrespect me. Now, I'm talking to you YouTubers. I could have stopped you. I could have reached out to YouTube and reported you and gave you a strike, put a strike on your ass. I could have done that if I wanted to. I had the right to. It's my shit. I have a right to decide how it can be used. I did not.
Okay, threatening to abuse the copyright system. You know, Kendra, I think it was Kendra G with the dating show. She threatened to do that at first as well. She didn't like what people were saying about her content when they were giving commentary under the guise of fair use. She too was threatening strikes, threatening this, threatening that. People will abuse the system like that. People will abuse the system, gatekeep, blacklist when they don't like what you're saying because they want you to get down or lay down. They want you to get down or lay down. Wow.
Do that. You know why? Because ultimately, no matter how many subscribers I have or you have, we're in the same boat where we're just trying to express ourselves without being canceled by the powers that be.
Right.
We're in the same boat. So I get it. I took the high road. I could have got right on your heads. I could have got on some of y'all heads. Don't think I don't see it.
Okay.
I see it. I see what you're doing. Some of y'all are very messy. Some of y'all men trying to come off like y'all alpha men, red pill men, but y'all got girl in y'all. Because certain things you just don't do. And because I know. See, I don't do nothing or say nothing to a person or say nothing about a person I wouldn't be willing to say to their face. And I don't care how hard some of y'all try to act like you are. You, me, and the world know. If you saw me face to face, you're going to tuck your tail. We know that. We know that. That's how it goes. See, because I don't have those type of problems personally, in person. I don't have them type of problems. Shannon and...
He said, run up in person. If you in person, run up, run up. Wow.
Overkill.
Katt, salute. 100, 1,000, salute. Salute, salute, salute. What they did was big. Yeah, that was some people that, as Shannon said, caught some strays. But guess what, fam? If we didn't like it that much, if the interview was that bad, why so many people watch it? Why do so many people watch it? And why are people still commenting on it? Now, some of y'all are in my chat right now talking down. Some of y'all talking down right now. Some of y'all gonna run your little funky asses to your platform and make a little video to your little weak ass audience, trying to talk down. But guess what? Again, you need to try to thank me, because without that, you ain't getting no views. But guess what? Guess what's bigger than that?
Okay.
I'm still gonna get paid, because while you running your mouth and got me all up in your mouth, sucking on it, I'm still getting paid.
You are.
While y'all making your videos, now people saying, damn, the video was that bad, the interview was that bad. Well, let me go watch it. Let me see how bad it was. Ching ching. Some of y'all just hating because you didn't get the interview. Some of y'all just hate us anyway. Some of y'all ain't got no platforms and you just hate us anyway. But some of y'all with the platforms, y'all the worst, because y'all complain about the very same thing that you're doing right now. You complain about the division. You complain about black people don't stick together. And y'all doing the exact same thing, but your audience is too slow. Slow as molasses. Your audience got a rudimentary style of thinking.
So he's talking to black people at this point. So I guess the black people are the uncivilized mutts. Yep. Yeah. The black elite, they will do that. They will do that. All right, so time for a little advertisement.
Spade. Parkland.
Use my Cash App card when I cash her out. Shoot her 250 on the Cash App, then I ask her out.
Cash App. What's your Cash App? Cash App. What's your Cash App?
Get on your Cash App $
Spade. Parkland.
We're going to start getting some work done, family. So please get them donations and get them in. $
Spade. Parkland.
All right, so I pinned the link to donate to the top of the chat. It's also an open panel. We're going to keep listening. If nobody comes up, then we're going to close it out. But yeah, Uncivilized Mutt, if you are a supporter, like to hear from you. If you are an uncivilized mutt and you'd like to speak on this, like to hear from you too. All are welcome.
Very incapable of making a clear distinction when it comes to cognitive dissonance.
Okay.
The audience is slow. You slow. Ooh. Your audience is even slower for following you.
Wow. He calls y'all slow.
Excuse my French and pardon my vernacular for what I'm about to say.
Okay.
To all the people that support me, salute. To all the people that's been rocking with me all the way from controversy, with my solo stuff, to the Ghetto Boys stuff,
right,
to my boxing, to everything that I've ever done. Salute, salute, salute.
Hey, where I'm from, Willie D's a legend. He's a legend. This is crazy. I remember the song he and the Ghetto Boys did, PWA. Like, we used to listen to that religiously. So this stream is not a critique of him or putting him down. It's just to kind of communicate that there's all different types of content creators out there, big and small, new and old. And when you got people who are content creators and trolls or just trolls, putting everybody together as uncivilized mutts, it's a bad look. Now, me, I would have appreciated if he would have put an address on these uncivilized mutts. That's what I would have appreciated. Put an address on it.
I tried to tell these niggas earlier when this dumbass bitch.
Yeah, I would say put an address on it. So that way we know you're not talking about the black community or all content creators. You're just talking about certain people you watched. That's what you should have done. But see, now that you're just addressing everybody, putting everybody in the same pot, it just looks sensitive. Very sensitive.
Wrenched, blocked, dragged, get shots taken at me.
Right.
But let me tell you how I get down on this platform.
Okay.
I don't profess to know everything. Life would be very boring if I thought I knew everything. That would be very boring to me because I like learning. I like growth.
Okay.
So I really don't mind when people disagree. It's cool when people agree with you, but for me, I just like learning. So if somebody disagree with me, I have no problem with somebody disagreeing with me.
But you're calling the people who disagree with you uncivilized mutts. What are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we... It's the double talk for me, the double talk.
But disagree with me in a fashion that you would disagree with me if you were in person. Don't say anything that you wouldn't say to my face.
But you don't know that. Because I'm sure you walk around with bodyguards, with homies. If people do come to you about something, you're probably going to, walk away and not even engage them. Because trust me, people, especially YouTubers, would love to get a viral moment addressing you, engaging you, and getting a rise out of you. People would love to get that.
Now, some of y'all gonna be like, well, I'll say it to you. No, you won't, and you know you won't. Like, I don't say anything about a person behind their back that I wouldn't say to their face. So, to all of the people that's been rocking with me, look, man, y'all know how I rock. I'm gonna call a strike and a ball a ball.
Right.
I love all y'all.
Okay.
But when there's an issue, I ain't got no problem addressing it. When I identify a clear enemy, I ain't got no problem being the greatest foe that they've ever had. I ain't got no problem with that. I seek peace, but I don't mind a little contact.
If you don't mind contact, then why are you being sensitive right now? I'm telling you, you're coming off as not too fast, not too hard. Slow down.
So to my supporters, and look, my point is that it's cool to agree. We can agree to disagree.
Okay.
But disrespect, it's crossing the line. A lot of people don't know. I got it. Some of y'all don't know how to express yourselves. Some of y'all ain't got enough intelligence to be able to disagree with somebody and be respectful.
But see, the thing about it is one person's disagreement could be disrespectful to you. But you don't want to take everything personal and be sensitive. Unless you're trying to have an open panel on your platform and let people go back and forth with you, which you're not trying to do. Matter of fact, if you really were trying to address this, like really trying to address the uncivilized mutts, you would have used your StreamYard. You would have dropped the StreamYard link and allowed people to come up and quote unquote say it to your face and address them in real time. But you didn't do that. You basically wanted to address the uncivilized mutts and you run off the rest of your day. So if you wanted to really address people, if you was really about that life, if you wanted people to know, hey, I'm about that life, you not, you would have dropped the StreamYard link, brought them on your platform, cammed up or not, and let them say what they got to say, and you would have addressed each and every one of them until you got tired, till you ran out of time, or till nobody else wanted to come up. That's what you would have done. But you didn't do that, and it's almost a minute left. So if you decide to do a part 2 for the uncivilized mutts, that might be something to consider.
Respectful about it. So I get that.
Okay.
But to my fans, to the people that rock with me, to my supporters, I love y'all for real, for real. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for defending me in the comment sections, not just on my channel, but the other channels. I'm on a lot of stuff, so I see a lot of stuff. So thank you for all of defending me, in this situation right here, right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To my detractors, it's a waste of time trying to make somebody happy that don't want to be happy. Likewise, it's a waste of time to try to help someone get an understanding who don't want to get an understanding. So come a little closer so you can hear what I got to say.
Okay, come closer.
Fuck all y'all. Fuck your mama. Fuck your daddy. Fuck your sister. Fuck your brother. Fuck your sick grandma. Fuck all y'all. Fuck your car. Fuck your house. Fuck your phone. Fuck you uncivilized mutt.
Uncivilized.
No more talk.
No more talk. That's it. No StreamYard link dropped. None of that. He came, the layeth, the smacketh, downeth. And you know what? After hearing that uncivilized mutt thing, guess what? That make me want to watch the interview. That right there makes me want to watch the interview. Katt Williams goes in again, clears the air after breaking the internet. See, now I want to review this. I wasn't even going to review it or not even going to touch it. I was going to just, watch it here and there, watch the clips, be done with it. he's right. This makes me want to now watch this interview. So he talked it up. We gonna do it. We gonna do it.
Spade, Parkland.
Use my Cash App card when I cash her out. Shoot her 250 on the Cash App, then I ask her out.
Cash App, what's your Cash App? Cash App, what's your Cash App?
Get on your Cash App $
Spade, Parkland.
We're going to start getting some work done, family. So please get them donations in. Get them in. $
Spade, Parkland.
Yep, get him in, get him in.
Willie D live.
Okay.
It's Willie D, y'all, back with another episode of information and instructions to help you navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world. In the studio, Katt Williams. What's up,
Thank
King?
you. How are you, sir?
Oh, man, one more hop, I'll be on top. How
Prepare
about
for
you?
your hop. Doing
Yeah.
great. Doing great.
Yeah, you're doing great, man. Cleveland, Ohio.
Dayton, Ohio. Cincinnati,
but,
Ohio.
when you, I mean, see, my bad. You were born in Cincinnati.
Yep, I was
and
born
then
in
you were
Cincinnati.
raised in Dayton.
And raised in Dayton, correct.
Man,
yeah.
you know, we had a show in Dayton once, and it almost like provoked a full-blown riot. You know, in Dayton, they had these cops with these big old 10-gallon hats.
They did.
Big old white cornbread-fed dudes, and they were telling us, y'all gonna either pay for all of this equipment that y'all destroyed on the stage. We destroyed, allegedly, equipment, band equipment that belonged to After 7 and Troop.
Oh my.
We were on the same
Got
ticket
it. Yeah.
as After 7 and Troop. We
Yeah.
destroyed their equipment.
Allegedly.
And they told us, y'all gonna pay for this stuff, or y'all going to jail. And so we basically just did the show for free because we gave all that money back. But Dayton that's will forever be like embedded in my memory. Dayton, Ohio, for that reason. But
I'm sorry
what
that you
do
had a bad
remember?
memory.
Well, what are some good memories that you have from Dayton?
Part of what you remember is a part of Dayton. So Dayton was one of the rare cities in America that was legitimately half black and half white. So there was power on both ends. I came from a very powerful family in Dayton just because of our sheer numbers. So there were 13 on my father's side and 7 on my mother's side. So I had like 100 first cousins in one city. Like we just had a large family, and it was a great place for black people, and it was a great place.
Let me get this straight. You're at a town with your powerful family, all those people. How were you homeless at 13? Okay.
It's for white people. It's just that you really couldn't be legitimately racist because your neighbors were of another color, if that makes sense. So,
What's the power dynamic? Was it mostly white people running it or black people?
well, that's the dynamic of America at that particular time. One of my uncles was the chief of police. Another was the head pastor in town, and had some cocaine dealing uncles as well. So we were really rooted in the city, but it was a city of money. So we had Cooper Tires, we had Dayton Tires, we had IBM, we had NCR, we had Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, we had University of Dayton. These are all places where you can make 6 figures even at that time. So it was a lot of money there. As far as on the radio, we would hear every hour 5 or 6 artists that were from where we were from. So we thought that was a part of it. We hearing the Ohio players, and Roger Troutman in Zapp's studio is our bus stop when we're 7 years old. I met Prince while I was in Dayton when I'm 12. Like, it was a very vibrant community for black people.
So you saw a lot of the street stuff. How did you end up? First of all, did you end up doing any of the street stuff, participating in any of that street activity? You mentioned your uncles selling drugs and all that.
Well, I leave Dayton, Ohio, right before I'm 13. So I'm still at a young age. I'm just having heightened experiences because of my childhood and my background. So, I've always had money, but I don't come from money. So I was able to cut grass in the summer, and I was able to shovel snow in the winter. That's what I was allowed to do. So, but consequently, even as a kid, I'm making like $6,000-$7,000 a year. And this is
at 12 years old?
Before that, at 10. At 10. Just because that's what I was allowed to do. And I'm a hustler by nature. Like, if I get a hold of a lick, I want to see how many times it flips, not if it flips. You know what I mean? So once I'm gone from there, I'm trying my hand at other things, door to door. And I had already made $1 million before I was 18 doing door to door across the country. So I had already tested out what were the positive things about me and how I could use that to my advantage economically from an early age.
Is it true that you emancipated yourself from your parents at 13? Because I read that somewhere.
Well,
Wikipedia says something like that.
I wouldn't shame the family. What I would say is that it can't be called run away because I didn't run away. I left. But I don't tell that part of the story just because there's a zero chance that if a young person listens to me and follows my example on that they'll be okay. But I knew I would be. But I was a little off. Like I knew Jesus left home at 13, so I didn't feel like I was out of pocket in any way.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that at 13 years old you was cognizant of the story of Jesus leaving home at 13 years old?
I had been accepted to college before I was 12, so I was already a little bit more advanced than.
So if you were homeless at 13, accepted to college at 12, why wouldn't you just go from your parents' house to college? Why are you on the streets? You just said you were accepted to college at 12. That means you applied to college, which means you basically are saying that you graduated high school at 11 or 12 years old, because you can't be accepted to college without a high school diploma or GED equivalent. Maybe he's joking, maybe he's not. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like stuff like this, when you have the person in here interviewing, you can ask them those follow-up questions to get clarity. You don't have to be a journalist to do stuff like that. He's not talking about anybody but himself. It's a casual conversation. You could ask those follow-up questions. Accepted to college at 12, which would mean he had to have graduated high school at 11 or 12. He's saying that he left home at 13. He's going to say he was homeless, but he was a millionaire at age 18. So he had to have had a really good life and not living on the streets. So now you would want those questions to be asked. You want us to get to know him better, but you're not asking those questions. And that's why people were saying that the interview was lackluster, because there's a lot of holes in the story, or things that don't make sense, or things that would be in newspapers that he's claiming, and it's like anybody saying it.
Your average child. I had probably read 10,000 books at that period in my life. So I was blessed.
2,000 books at age 12 or 13. That's very impressive. He should have been in someone's newspaper, someone's magazine.
In that way. But as you know, you can't really just live on that. So God navigated where I was able to see the underworld, if you will. So I go from my parents' house in Ohio to Miami, Florida by myself. I don't know nobody. And that's where the story begins. But
in your formidable years, who is that person? Was that a single individual who inspired you, or some guy or a person that you looked up to and you said?
I mean, I would have asked as a follow-up question, how did you get there? Why did you go to Miami? Did you go to Miami to go live with somebody? How did you find out about the underground world? Okay.
I like the way that they move, and I want to model myself after that person.
Yeah, this is going to be a weird answer. Yes, that's one of the things that I was probably the best at. I did it with anybody and everybody. So when I was going to the library, I wasn't reading fiction books. I was reading nonfiction books, and it didn't matter what it was. I know whatever's in this book, I don't know what it is. So I might have read like 1,000 autobiographies, just the life of people that I don't know. And when you do that, you find out that if you were trying to learn something from everybody, you could actually learn something from every single person that you met. And so it's that type of thinking that helped me avoid the pitfalls as I saw them. So the reason I never did drugs when I was an adult is because when I left and went to Miami and I'm living in a park, it's 30 people out there from all different places, and they all are homeless and in a terrible situation just like me. And they're telling me that they used to be lawyers and doctors and nurses. And I'm going, well, what happened? And all of them is telling this story where everything in their life was fine, and then they dealt with this drug. And this is where it ended them out. So as a kid, I never saw the fun part of drugs. I never heard about nobody having a good time on drugs, or, oh, you got to take this so you can feel it. I didn't see it from that way. I had already seen what it would do to people. And they're telling me, like, I'm letting people tell me, hey, don't do this. Don't get to Hollywood and start sleeping with white women and doing cocaine because it'll kill you. Oh, yeah, no problem. Got it. So, in a lot of things, I was just stupid enough to get the lessons, but that came from being willing to learn something from everyone.
Yeah. How long were you out on the streets?
Well, it sounds so harsh when you say on the streets. Just understand that I'm in slacks and a shirt and a tie every day, and I'm eating at a 5-star restaurant because I don't work this deal with the restaurant where
5-star restaurant. That doesn't make sense. He's saying that he was with the underground world, but he's working at a 5-star restaurant. Because Michelin only goes 3 stars. So 5-star, I guess, has got to be, something else. But 5 stars more than likely has to be cream of the crop. He's there under the age of 18, working with a tie and a shirt. Where did he get the money? How did he get the job? Because all this just sounds fascinating to the point where it'd be like in a movie. It sounds like it'd be in a movie. Under the age of 18. He's homeless. He's dealing with the underground, the underworld, if you will. He works at a 5-star restaurant. Tie, shirt. No high school diploma. No one asking any questions. People who wash dishes in the back aren't wearing ties and shirts. He had to have been like a waiter or a host. See, Willie D should have been asking these questions, following up with that to get clarification, because right now it just seems like his story is a little bit exaggerated.
Come in at 5 in the morning and I come and do the floors and clean up everything the bus people didn't do, knock out the old dishes. I do all of that, but I get to eat there for free. So I come later and have a 5.
So basically he's washing dishes, okay? He's a dishwasher. Dishwashers will get the luxury of eating food that people do not finish or people send back. And he just said he's washing dishes. He's doing a bunch of other stuff. He's a dishwasher. Okay. I could see that, because to be in the kitchen, sometimes restaurants will hire people who are on the streets to come in and wash dishes and stuff to exchange to eat. But I don't think it would be a 5-star restaurant, though. So now I would want him to maybe name a couple of the 5-star restaurants, maybe describe them, give us something to believe the story.
Start lunch as a 12-year-old, because I'm already smoking cigarettes, but I got a mustache, so I don't look out of place. And then I go and I do my 8 hours in the library to take the place of what schooling would have been. So 2 hours were spent collecting radios from people's cars at the marina, which funded me to at least have $700 or $800 a week in my pocket. So that was the situation.
So he's stealing cars. No, he's stealing radios from cars for money. I can believe that. Taking them to pawn shops. I can believe that. He's also in the library for 8 hours, and he's washing dishes to get food. So all this it can be considered believable. It's just when he said the word 5-star restaurants, that's when eyebrows go up.
For, I'll say, 12 months.
Was there somebody who came along?
So he was homeless for 12 months. So where did he live after the year was over with? See, that would be the follow-up question. Let's see what Willie D does.
Social work or something like that, and saw you and said, yo, I talked to you, it's like, yo, I can help you out. Oh, you should do this or that.
No, you're looking at it a different way than I was looking at it. I wasn't in a pitiable situation by any means. I was free. And it was an adventure that I was on. And I had already read all of these books. I know how this goes. I know that a terribly scary adventure is nothing for the warrior. He doesn't need to be in a good position. There is a God, and he's going to see you through. You just have to make sure that you're hitting the marks to qualify for the blessing. So I was never in a situation where someone would think that I needed some assistance.
Where were you sleeping at?
In the park that I told you about, across the street from the library in Coconut Grove.
Like on the ground, on the bench?
No, yeah, a mattress out there. I had money, so people would get you stuff.
Why didn't you just take your money and go get a crib?
At 13? Yeah. It never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Never crossed my mind.
Because I really do. I know it's young, but I do know people who are very young. Like if somebody is young enough to get out on the street.
Well, so how are you taking showers? I mean, it's possible. He could have been going to a shelter to take a shower, but why not go to a shelter and just live? Because you're 13. You're a kid. He's making it seem like he's 13 with a mustache, smoking on stuff. Like no one's gonna just come to him and be like, "Hey man, you're a little kid. Where your parents at?" It just doesn't make sense. So let's say he's saying that he's at 13 years old. He's got a mustache. He's got money. He's in the park by choice. He's on a mattress in the park because he has money. A 13-year-old in the park, sleeping on a mattress because he has money. He's got a job. He's going to the library. He's got a mustache. It just seems really far-fetched. So Willie D, whether he wants to play journalist or not, he got to understand that people are going to be listening to the story and being like, maybe Katt Williams is trolling. Because what he's saying doesn't make a lick of sense.
Go out on the streets and just say, I'm leaving home. Yeah. A lot of times, and if they got money, they're savvy enough.
It's not that I have money. I'm making some money. I don't have money. I'm making some money.
Enough to get by.
Well, I'm saying I don't have a long list of needs on the daily. I need to eat well. I need to drink well.
And where are you keeping your money? Like in your pocket?
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Anybody ever try to rob you?
No, I did have somebody try to violate me while I was out there. I think because I didn't know really what gay people were, so I wasn't really clear. I knew how gay people acted, as I had seen, but I wasn't aware that it had a sexual connotation to it. So as soon as the guy kept talking to me like he liked me, I was really confused because guys don't like guys. And I'm trying to figure out, is there something about your background that makes you talk like a lady while you're talking to me? But yeah, I had that as a situation. But other than that, no, I wasn't frequently tried as a young person.
Yeah. So I'm asking some of these questions that I'm asking because I'm really trying to figure out, like, how did you develop your psyche? Like, you're a very insightful dude.
Right.
Just trying to figure out, like where did that start at? Can you pinpoint a specific time and space where you...
So Katt Williams just said that somebody tried to violate him. Willie D doesn't say, sorry that happened to you. Do you know who did it? Did you go to the police? Did you continue to stay in the park? Did it happen in the park? No follow-up questions to this really horrible situation. He just glosses over it and just starts asking more questions. See, and that's the other problem. People are complaining that Willie D is turning his brain off. What's going on? Well, let's see.
Hey, what's going on, Spade? I apologize in advance because I'm a little sick here. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I just wanted to come up here and say I love this stream. Love it, love it, love it.
Oh, I appreciate it.
But a lot of the things that you were saying about Katt Williams, a lot of it sounds like he's telling half truths.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of holes in his story. Like number one, with him being 13 years old and homeless on the street for as long as he said that he was homeless. And later on, Willie D is going to, bring out that he had women of the night that were his friends. Now, he fancied himself to be a little young pimp during that time. Okay. So now if you got hoes, okay, and you getting money, like he said he was getting money, would one of the hoes not put you up in an apartment under her name?
Right.
I'm just saying, like I know hustlers, I grew up in the hood. So I know hustlers, I know, people that's from the underworld. There's a lot of ways that a lot of stuff get done. Like Yummy, I grew up in the era of Yummy, where he was running the west side of Chicago at one point, and he was like 10, and Katt Williams kind of described himself as being a softer Yummy, walking around here with mustaches, smoking weed and all that type of stuff, so
right.
Yeah, if you had hoes, like you said you had hoes and you were friends with these women of the night and people were looking after you and buying you stuff, like you would have been able to, especially if you were able to generate money and pass that money around, they would have got you a place. So I mean, it's a lot of stuff that he's saying that ain't really, passing the sniff test.
Right, and that's the problem that people have with Willie D, is that he's sitting here across from Katt Williams hearing this stuff and not questioning, not doing follow-up questions. He's moving on to other topics as opposed to, like he was saying, let us better know Katt Williams by asking all these follow-up questions, getting more details, seeing how much he can squeeze out, because it sounds like Katt Williams is lying. Or it sounds like Katt Williams has taken stories from the books that he's read and using that as his backstory to sound more interesting. Or maybe even another comedian had that story, someone who's not that known, someone that Katt Williams took inspiration from or stole their jokes, and he's taken their story and using that to make himself seem larger than what he is. Because sometimes people will have a story of saying, I'm from the hood, I'm from the ghetto, I did this and did that, I was with gangs, because they're trying to get street cred, especially when you have situations where you're beat up by a 7-year-old. So shout out to you, Paid, for sending me that clip of him being beat up by the 7-year-olds and choked out by the 7-year-old after sucker punching him. You know, when you have a reputation like that, you're going to have to say that you had a hard upbringing so people can kind of like believe you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. He just comes off as being a I know everybody like to throw the word narcissist around, but in this particular case, I think we're dealing with a narcissist.
So I want
Oh,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
okay. Well, the reason that I say this is because, like, Katt Williams, you know, he walks around here and he acts like he's this really, really great guy, and he wants everybody to think that he's a truth teller, and he's not, you know, being malicious. These people attack me and I'm the victim, so he's putting himself, you just look at how he's positioning himself, and look at this smear campaign that he's, you know, pushing out on all these other people. Also, look at how he moves. Now, he sits up here and he pretends like he's putting people on, but I don't know anybody that he's actually made rich or famous. But I've seen clips of a lot of people that he have given small amounts of money to, and they were just very, very ingratiated to him for that little amount of money. You know, well, you know, it's a little amount of, I might be saying a little bit amount of money. It's a small amount of money to Katt Williams. I'll put it that way. Right. It may be a large amount to us. Like one comedian said that he threw something out into the audience and he caught it, and it was a wad of money. He said it was about $15,000 in there, and that guy was ingratiated to Katt Williams for life. Another comedian said that he was supposed to open for Katt Williams, and Katt Williams didn't even show up, and so he went on to do the show. And then he said later on, Katt Williams came out of nowhere in the hallway as he was leaving the comedy club, gave him a whole bunch of money. But you know, it's like not a significant amount that'll make a person rich. He never did anything to really put nobody on, but you hear stories of him just, you know, giving this money away. Like, I know I did some red ass shit by not showing up to the show, but to soften the blow, here's $15. So you won't talk shit about me later. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
It seems like he does that sort of thing, you know. But none of the comedians. Do you even know the names of these so-called comedians that he traveled with?
Nope.
'Cause I don't. Like, I think a lot of these people would have rather had become rich and famous than to get that little $10,000-$15,000 here and there. So it's like he's willing to do that, but he's not willing to do the other thing.
Exactly. And I want to kind of show the video that you showed to me of Katt Williams and his experience. Let me bring this up. All right, so this is courtesy of the Faith Factor. We blame you for this, for finding this, but this is Katt Williams in the past, I think like 7 years ago, where he was confronted by, I think it's a seventh grader. Yeah, seventh grader.
Well, then you know what to do now. Stop me on the point.
Woo!
Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this. Look at this. Goddamn.
Oh, you can get choked out.
Now he's getting choked out. Boom! How?
Just say it.
Right.
Just say it.
So he knows that people were dragging him about that and other stuff that he's been heard of doing. So he has to come with this outlandish backstory that he's presenting to different people, including Willie D. And people like Willie D, who like Katt Williams, they want to give him a pass on stuff. Them not digging and asking deeper questions, it just kind of promotes the idea that a lot of people may be plants, and Katt Williams may be paying people for interviews. That's the reason why they're not digging. But what do you think about that?
Precisely. And that brings me back around to he don't mind, throwing a little money around. And I do mean a little money, because it's a little money to him.
And when he went on Willie D's platform, Katt Williams had a tour going on, so he more than likely was doing all these interviews for the tour to get people in seats. So Willie D basically didn't do a service to Katt Williams by not asking the follow-up questions for clarification, and now that's why we're looking at him crazy now. So I want to kind of continue on with the Katt Williams Willie D interview. You can stay if you'd like and add commentary to it if you're okay with that.
Okay, yeah, I'll hang in a little bit longer.
All right, let's do this. I picked the wrong one.
Said, I get it. I see what's going on.
Yeah. Probably like 5 years old. First and foremost, this is going to sound really, really weird, but I believed at that young age that you could have a relationship with God. And I know that that's kind of old-fashioned now. But when I was young, that's what I believed. And so I developed this relationship where we talk 4 or 5 times a day and we talk about everything. And I'm coming to you when things are well and when it's not well. And if I ask for something, I know when you gave me what I asked for, because it's the only time. So I understood at a young age that I wasn't like everybody else, that I was in a blessed position and that I had the ability to be able to make things happen if I could find the instructions and follow them. So at 5 years old, that's how I thought. I knew when things were wrong with the Bible. I wasn't worried about authority because God was like the authority. And other than that, I got to tolerate you, but I'm not allowed to bow down. I'm like that as a child. So my parents didn't do anything wrong. They just wanted me to live a life that I wasn't going to live. They wanted me to be this, and I was not free to live a double life. I can't be that and be what I'm trying to be.
What was that they wanted you to be?
A part of their religion. They were very devout in religion.
Christian?
Yes, a branch of Christianity, yes.
At one point, did you become a Muslim?
At one point, I became several religions because that's the only way you can really find out what's going on in a religion.
See, at this point, I would have asked him, what age did you dibble and dabble in these religions? Because it sounds like you didn't want to be religious, but you're 5 and you left at 13. So I would have been asking, like, what exactly happened that would make you get into all these religions at 5, decide you don't want to do it, but be different other religions. See, Willie D, he's not digging deep, and it just sounds like Katt Williams is almost like a god. Any thoughts? Uh-oh.
Oh, hold on. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yep,
hello?
loud and clear. Yep,
okay, I'm sorry. My sound is going in and out, so I can't hear anything that you're saying. Or that you're playing on the screen right now, so I have to drop down and come back.
Let me it may be me doing that. So you're saying it's in and out?
Yeah, but no, it's probably mine. I'm gonna drop down and I'm gonna.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Faith, if you want to come back, feel free to do so. If anybody else wants to come up, feel free to do so. The panel is open.
Religion is not something that you can just study the books about it and now you know about them. I had to be a member of the Fruit of Islam in order to know. Minister Farrakhan calls me his son.
Minister Farrakhan calls you his son. What age did you become a Muslim?
What? What the fuck?
Wow.
I was not regular even in that endeavor, just because whoever the true God is, I don't play about him. And I understand that regardless of what you choose to call him, it's the same entity. And once you study all of the religions, you find out that nobody's really disagreeing with anybody. The Jews don't believe this whole set of things that Christians don't, and Muslims either.
Why are people so afraid of Farrakhan?
Well, if you had the ability to control the black people on this planet, there isn't anything that you couldn't take, dismantle, destroy, or interrupt if you could mobilize black people. And so part of the ops agenda, a part of their modus operandi, is to find out which one of you niggas is a potential leader. And if you are, then we begin a work of progress on your life, which will make people get off of that. It's a part of it, as much as in any defense, you're trying to figure out which way this dude is likely to go, so I can rip that ball. It's the same.
Yeah. Farrakhan is a polarizing individual. A lot of people really, I do believe, don't really understand him. I think that there are people who get the message. This is what frightens them, is because they know, as you alluded to, they know what he's capable of doing. You know, uniting black people and guiding and leading black people in the right way.
There's not been a successful one of those yet. So just like if you're a rapper, any rapper can get hit. Yeah, we can go through 300 years of history and look for all the black people that fit the description you just said. They never make it.
Yeah, which is why I believe that they should stop trying to make it. I really do believe that, it's each one reach one, teach one, but the leadership is in yourself. Like, all of us are capable, well, not all of us, but many of us are capable of being a leader. Like, instead of sitting around just waiting on one person to be that leader.
Well said. But in real time, being the leader of yourself gets you nothing. The people demand to be led, regardless. There's not 13 shepherds and all these sheep. Why? Because it's unnecessary. Just one. Just one that has the connection with the sheep, which allows the sheep who has a brain about that small to be able to just focus on eating grass and not worry about falling off a cliff. We have the desire as humans to be led. We want to be led into battle. We want to be led into the football game. This is all because this is how we are wired. The cheerleaders and the pomp and circumstance, that goes back to the times of first humanity, because we do need that.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about a myriad of leaders. You're not just talking about a single individual.
Right.
And I see a lot of people just be sitting back waiting on a Messiah. They're waiting on that one person.
But they are too, though.
Who's that?
The other side is far more diligent about looking for that Messiah than we are, because they know where to look. You probably wonder, why do white people pay so much attention to black people if they don't like them? You would think if you didn't like something, why would you be paying attention to it? I don't pay attention to things I don't like.
What's the answer?
The answer is the liar knows what lie he told. You see what I'm saying? So even if I made it deceitful and I made you think that the answer is over here, but the answer is really over here, I'm still going to be looking over here. Me, the one that tricked, because I know this is the right answer. Black people have lost their identity, but our oppressors have not lost our identity. This is why they chopped those noses off of the Pharaoh and the Sphinx in Egypt in the first place, is because without this nose, we can tell you this is whoever it is. But with that nigga nose, it can only be niggas. Why would somebody vandalize a whole face and only vandalize one part? Nobody wanted to knock an eye off or take an ear off or no chins missing. No, just the nose. Because it's a brand. It's a brand.
Right, you have an uncanny way of thinking outside of the box, and you are very good at breaking things down like you just did. You understand consequences and repercussions very well. Okay. So my question to you is, why are you such a habitual line stepper? Why do you cross that line so often when you know what the repercussions and consequences are going to be? And they're not going to be favorable to you. For example.
Right.
Wow, this is a lame question. We are 20 minutes in, and it's nothing but lame questions. Katt Williams is saying a lot of stuff that people would want to know more information about. And Willie D is choosing to be lame. We're not learning anything more about Katt Williams than we already know, surface level. If Willie D wanted a deep dive, like he said when he did his sensitive video, calling people uncivilized mutts, he should have took it in the direction of Katt Williams. How did he go from leaving at 13, being at the level where he's accepted to colleges as age 12, to being in the underworld, being on the street, and then being a millionaire by 18, like he said? Anyone would have went down that route versus, why are you a habitual line stepper? He's a habitual line stepper because that's what gets attention. You know that. He knows that.
I saw where you and Suge got arrested, right? You and Suge got arrested? Is that true?
Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Okay.
And
what were we doing?
Allegedly had something to do with like some type of photography, a camera or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm just saying this is what I read.
Well, I'll tell you the story, and you tell me then, does that change how you frame this?
Okay.
So we have a meeting with a hologram company, which is going to go into a licensing deal on some holograms. This is in Beverly Hills. So now there's a rodeo, and behind that is an alleyway where you park your vehicles. Mm-hmm. That's where we are. Suge has brought his son with him, who's 5 years old. And before we go into this meeting, Suge's son runs behind the dumpster and urinates. And a lady films his penis out, peeing behind the dumpster. And then says, oh, I thought that was Katt's kid. So yeah, that's what happened.
See, man, this is
so understand, we were facing 20 years, Suge and I. 20 years for that. And if it wasn't for the fact that this is Beverly Hills and it's all on camera, they had no problem sending us up the river when we couldn't have possibly done what was being said. That lady said that she got jumped on by me.
So you see what you just did? You just clarified a huge misconception about the events of that evening or whatever.
Yeah, but remember, it went to court. Like, this isn't just my word. They had to play the video in court, which showed that her altercation wasn't with the man at all.
But the trip part about it is that when people print it, when the media, mainstream media put it out there, they don't add that piece.
No, nor do they make a retraction. Nor do they say, hey, that thing we told you about that guy, turns out it was nothing. Understand, I got 15 cases that were dismissed. That should be talked about. Why would 15 cases be dismissed? Because you were so sure you had what you were looking at. Because every city I go to, I'm the nigga with the best car. There's probably smoke coming out that car. There's probably girls gathering around that car. I look like a plug. I get it. And you probably already hurt me by the time you find out who I actually am.
Right. See, because of that clarity you just provided,
yes,
is the reason why I want to know. I think the world want to know what happened between you and Ali Sadiq. I know you said
the world couldn't possibly want to know that. He's not famous enough for the world to want to know that. Because my side of the world doesn't want to know that. See,
my side of the world,
here's the thing.
What happened, man?
A lot of times what liars do first is they set up a narrative and a scenario. Like Michael Blackson just got on national TV and told people, yeah, I got a beef with Katt Williams, and Katt is mad at me about this, and because I said this, and I didn't even mean it like that. And the whole time, he's never talked to me. That's how he feels. He's heard I'm angry. I've not had a conversation with him. It's the same with your Ali Sadiq. If it wasn't for the information that I know in my intel, I would be a fan of his like everybody else. Who wouldn't be a fan of a young black storyteller that's done time and loves his family and is a hometown guy? Like, why would he ever have any enemies in comedy? It's ludicrous. But if you pick the actual king, then make sure that your story is correct. And unfortunately, his story's not correct. No matter what he says, he never met me. He made it disrespectful that a security guard that was 6'7" reached over him to pay him, not mentioning the fact that he got paid for not doing anything.
Well, let's start at the beginning of the Reliant thing.
I don't know.
I'm going to start, and then you can do what you want to do.
Fair enough.
But I think for the sake of the audience knowing just
tell them who
an
Ali
idea of what
Sadiq
we're
is.
talking about. Ali Sadiq is a comedian from Houston that's based in Houston.
A very fine comedian.
Very fine comedian.
Yeah.
Now, Ali said that he went to a Reliant arena and he was on the same show as you. He showed up, and the security stopped him from entering the building. And then somebody told him Katt didn't want you to come in. And then at some point, somebody else came and gave him a check. Another security person reached over somebody's shoulder and gave him a check. He said that the people that were working security locked arms to prevent him from walking inside of the building. And he thought that you had a problem with him. He said he didn't know why you had a problem with him. And to this day, he don't know why you have a problem with him. That was the.
It'd be nice if that was the story. So now, if that's the story, then let me see if I got this correct. A guy I've never met was supposed to be doing a show with me, and I got so angry, even though I hadn't met him, that I had security keep him out of the building. See, that's the problem with lies. They're faulty from their inception, sir. I'm the person in the story that doesn't have a grudge to feel. I don't care why I didn't like Katt Williams.
Okay, let's just go to him.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? In today's video, we got Ali Sadiq's response to the Katt Williams Willie D interview. I did a full video breaking that down, but just in case if you guys missed what's going on, I'll just give you a quick rundown. So Katt Williams had an interview with Willie D. They sat down, Willie D asked Katt Williams about Ali Sadiq. The reason why is because 2 years ago, Willie D interviewed Ali Sadiq on the Ghetto Boys Reloaded YouTube channel. They had an interview with Ali Sadiq. They asked him about Katt Williams and what's going on with that. Ali Sadiq broke it down. Let's check out the clip.
What did Katt do to Ali? What did he do to you, man?
So let's go to the story. Let me speed up. Shreveport. We in Shreveport. The song out is Every Day I'm Hustling. I walk up the ghetto. I turn back around. You know how the arena people look in the goddamn yellow shirts. All of them are locked arms, standing in front of the door. I'm like, hey, let me slide through y'all. And the lady who was sitting in front of my door, she said, I can't let you back in the building. I said, what? I can't let you back in the building. I said, what? So they don't know what's going on. It's just been a sign. Don't let Ali Sadiq back in this building. Okay, cool. Katt's security at the time, dude's name is Carl. Carl comes and he talking over the shoulders of the security people. I'm standing outside, me and Ghetto. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, Carl, what's up? He's like, man, Katt, I don't know what the fuck is up, man. Katt, I don't want you back in the building. I said, what? Man, he ain't say nothing. But I can see Katt and his wife were talking, like I can see them. And I'm like, what is up? So they turned back to me. They wrote me a check and they came and paid me. And this is how they paid me. I'm standing there and over the shoulder of security, I just see a check come over his arm. I see niggas paying me, like I'm some fucking bum nigga, like a handout. Okay, cool.
Okay, so that's the clip right there, Ali Sadiq talking about Katt Williams. Today, Willie D asked Katt Williams about Ali Sadiq in their interview, and this is what Katt Williams had to say.
Okay. I don't know.
I would get to the bottom of it. This is not one of those stories. First of all, the actual truth of this matter is, every city that I go to, I already have the comedians who are opening up for me. Not just this tour, but for the 17 100 city tours previous to this. I never go to the city and go, hey, do you guys have some comics here? I'd like to add them to my show. I just don't do it. I travel with the comedians that are coming to your city. We're one unit and one team when we come. That is to let you understand that no comic was fin to come join us that evening because there isn't space for it. I still have to do an hour at the end of this. There's a limited amount of time. So we could.
But see, okay, you paying the guy for his time, for his services, that means he had to have been booked to perform there. because you would not pay him a performance fee if he wasn't scheduled to perform. It just doesn't make sense, because if he was not supposed to be there and he's like, hey, I want to come on stage, open mic style, then he would have been turned around and not given a check. But the fact that he was given a check means he was scheduled to perform, like booked, but you didn't want him to come on stage.
It just start there. Second of all, I don't care where you're from, what the venue is, how cool you are with the people that work there. Katt Williams show means Katt Williams show. That means don't nothing move but the money. There ain't no loud talking and voice raising. And well, how dare you? How dare you? Let me look on the advertisements and see, do I see your name or face, sir, whoever you may be? Where would you even get the entitlement to be having this question? This is like me insisting that the Lakers put me on as a starter. And I won't take no for an answer. It's ridiculous. You don't even play in our league. And that's before I knew who you were. Now that I know who you are, I'm just ashamed because you took something personal that couldn't have been personal. I didn't meet you. That's how it would have gone if I wasn't there, because the truth is I wasn't there. All of this happened before I got there.
What happened with the check? When the security guy
when I asked what the person had said, I said, well, I don't understand. I don't understand why he's so angry. What did he say to you? He said, I'm supposed to be on this show. I said, well, maybe he was expecting to get some sort of a payment. And now he thinks he doesn't get to get paid because we already have a tour. I wouldn't want that. Pay him for performing. So he got the check of the performer.
Hold up. Okay. Katt Williams just said that he was not there when it went down. And then in the next breath, he's saying that he overheard the alley guy say that he was supposed to be performing. So he's like, okay, give him a check. Let's back this up, because I think Katt Williams just did a boo-boo.
And now he thinks he doesn't get to get paid because we already have a tour. I wouldn't want that. Pay him for performing. So he got the check of...
Hold up.
When the security guy
when I asked what the person had said, I said, well, I don't understand. I don't understand why he's so angry. What did he say to you? He said, I'm supposed to be on this show. I said, well, maybe he was expecting to get some sort of a payment. And
go back a little bit further.
When the security guy
when I asked what the person had said, I said, well, I don't understand.
Crap. I'm not going back far enough.
Do you guys have some comics here? I'd like to add them to my show. I just don't do it. I travel with the comedians that are coming to your city. We're one unit and one team when we come. That is to let you understand that no comic was fin to come join us that evening because there isn't space for it. I still have to do an hour at the end of this. There's a limited amount of time. So we could just start there. Second of all, I don't care where you're from, what the venue is, how cool you are with the people that work there. Katt Williams show means Katt Williams show. That means don't nothing move but the money. There ain't no loud talking and voice raising. And well, how dare you? How dare you? Let me look on the advertisements and see, do I see your name or face, sir, whoever you may be? Where would you even get the entitlement to be having this question? This is like me insisting that the Lakers put me on as a starter. And I won't take no for an answer. It's ridiculous. You don't even play in our league. And that's before I knew who you were. Now that I know who you are, I'm just ashamed because you took something personal that couldn't have been personal. I didn't meet you. That's how it would have gone if I wasn't there because
I didn't meet you. That's how it would have gone if I was not there. So Katt Williams is saying he didn't meet the guy, and he said that he was not there. So I guess while all this is going down with Ali, he was not there. He wasn't around. But then Katt Williams is about to say that someone came and told him what Ali said, and he's like, oh, I guess he thought he was supposed to be performing, pay him a check.
The truth is, I wasn't there. All of this happened before I got there.
All this happened before I got there.
What happened with the check? When the security guy
when I asked what the person had said, I said, well, I don't understand. I don't understand why he's so angry. What did he say to you? He said, I'm supposed to be on this show. I said, well.
So Katt Williams is doing an impression like Ali is saying it in real time as if Katt Williams would have to be there. Because if Ali was turned away and he's like, kicked out the venue and Katt Williams wasn't there yet, then Katt Williams wouldn't even been told about any of this because Ali would be outside. Unless he caused a commotion.
Well, maybe he was expecting to get some sort of a payment. And now he thinks he doesn't get to get paid because we already have a tour. I wouldn't want that. Pay him for performing. So he got the check of the performer.
I think Katt Williams lying, y'all. Here's my theory, and it's all legit. I think he knew who Ali was, and Katt Williams more than likely brings comics with him when he goes on tour. He handpicks them because he picks comics who are not as funny as he is or not better than him, so they don't outshine him. Which, this is kind of like, I mean, I'm not in the industry, but I know this is an industry practice where if you go last, you want to be the best. So you might have an agreement with the comics that go before you to tell certain jokes so that they're funny and warm the crowd up. But if you go last, you are the main event. You're the main act. So if they're warming the crowd up, they're just there to get them in the mood for some laughs. Then you come in and you knock it home. I think Katt Williams didn't want dude to perform because Ali may have been funnier than Katt Williams wanted him to be, and that's the reason why he got turned away. That right there makes more sense than just simply Ali thought he was going to be there, and for some reason he was there, and we just paid him to get rid of him. No. That wouldn't make sense, because someone like Ali, he would want to perform because this is a tour, and it's going to be a larger crowd than maybe he's used to, and he wants to get his name out there. That's really why Ali is mad. It's not because he was paid a check. It's because he couldn't perform. And why wouldn't you let him perform if you're trying to put people on? And like the Faith Doctor said when she came on the panel, Katt Williams is not known for putting anybody on. He's just as much a gatekeeper, in my opinion, all alleged, than the kings of comedy that he was critiquing. I think what it is, he's okay with gatekeepers as long as he is allowed in the gate.
This is what he's angry about. Imagine the audacity. Remember, your story is that I'm kicking you the fuck out. Get out and lock arms and don't let him in. And paying you? Make it make sense, King. Either you're...
I just did. But see, Willie D, I don't know, maybe he wasn't on his game that day. Maybe he doesn't want to rock the boat. Who knows? But if he's thinking with his brain, he'd be like, I think he's mad that even though he got paid, it's because he wanted to perform, because he wanted to be able to reach a wider audience. That's why he wanted to perform. And now the question is, I mean, because Ali didn't address it, but I'm willing to believe that maybe the promoters have booked him and he thought he was going to perform, and for whatever reason, he was just turned away. Because, I mean, if you think about it, if these people are on tour, they're not necessarily, the people who are going with Katt Williams, they're not necessarily getting paid to do each show. So one of them could have not gone and let Ali on. And then the fact that Katt Williams wrote him a check personally, as opposed to the promoter or the venue that would normally pay people, because when it comes to a promoter and the venue, their money comes from ticket sales, and they pay the performers to be there. So Ali would have been getting paid not from Katt Williams, but whoever booked him as far as the promoter or the venue. So it wouldn't make sense for Katt Williams to cut him a check. It wouldn't even make sense for Katt Williams to turn him away. See, this is not passing the smell test. Unless Katt Williams didn't want him to perform because he doesn't like people going on before him that may be funnier than him. Because you can't warm a crowd up if they're doing such an amazing job that when the main act comes out or the main event comes out, it's not as funny as the previous guy, because now the event is like, it sucks. A lot of comics have gotten booed just because the person that came on before to warm the crowd up was better.
Smaller than I think, or I'm bigger. Either one. Like, you can't keep positioning the narrative, because that's all this is. This is so that in a conversation in America, there'll be something where he and I are evenly linked, and only people in his hometown are floating that narrative. I'm really him.
You don't believe that there's, under any circumstances, that you and Ali can come to a resolution, just be cool?
You just talked to me. You know I don't have a bone in this.
Yeah.
I don't have a bone in this.
So if I got him on the phone, you talk to him?
I would have gave him the celebrity boxing match he asked for if I thought he was a celebrity.
Oh, come on, man. You know Ali's a celebrity. Come on,
sir, I'm not talking.
Wow. So instead of Katt Williams taking the phone call, now he's going to do a big me, little you. He's doing a Willie D. The same thing Willie D did when he addressed the uncivilized mutts and spewed out all of those put downs instead of dropping a StreamYard link and letting people talk to him and have it back and forth in real time. Katt Williams did the same thing of a big me, little you. I shouldn't talk to you because you're small time, by throwing out that I would do the celebrity boxing match if he wanted it, but he's not a celebrity. See, these guys are doing the whole I would fight you, but you're not on my level. So then if he's not on your level, then fight him and take the win. It's just like when you got somebody who wins, let's say like a heavyweight belt in boxing, and then instead of them going after the number 2, who was right behind them when they got the championship, now they want to take on people who are retired, people who are has-beens, people who are amateurs, because they have to defend their title, but they want to defend their title against people that are sure wins.
I didn't mean that disparagingly. I meant that in ticket sales, my nigga. Ticket sales, that's what I meant. I mean, I'm doing 7,000 in your hometown while you go do 300. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm talking statistics. I'm talking about the biggest and baddest thing going. And you, a person trying to get in, why would you be mad? It's ridiculous.
So basically the same thing that Steve Harvey did to Katt Williams. where Steve Harvey was like, he's not trying to do a back and forth with Katt Williams because Katt Williams is small time. Steve Harvey used the analogy that dogs will bark at moving vehicles, but they won't bark at a parked one. Dogs will bark at a moon that's not moving. If the moon barks back, the dog is famous. Katt Williams is doing to Ali what Steve Harvey did to Katt Williams. Wow.
Offended. I'm offended. Why? Because even if it's celebrity boxing, I need you to sell tickets too. I need you to sell these pay-per-views.
No. People are buying the tickets for the headliner, the main event, not for the subcards. The local acts, the people you bring with you, that's just to warm the card up. What puts butt in seats is the main act, the person at the end. Wow, I cannot believe that we're getting this. And see, this was the thing. Willie D is falling asleep at the wheel. He's not asking questions. He's just letting all the stuff slide.
Review numbers, man. I know I'm bringing it. It's more people that want to see me get laid out by you. And the fact that an upstanding and righteous gentleman like yourself is in that position with the only thing trying to be righteous in our lane is just more machinations of the devil. You should have a much better backstory when you pick me as an opponent.
You know what, man? I'm glad you at least, addressed it, because...
When you talk to him and tell him what the truth is, he won't be able to refute it. I told you earlier, he doesn't know this. How can he know? It's okay for you to think that I'm that way, but there are 30,000 known comedians in America that you could have went to, and they would have told you, this is against my character. I am known for confronting my issue head up, be it Satan or his...
He just offered to call the guy on the phone, and you didn't take it. It's because, and this is my opinion, but you'll go against somebody who you know is smaller than you, who's not as funny as you. You'll have no problem punching against them. But somebody who may be on your level, I don't know. It looks like maybe ducking and dodging. I don't know. What do y'all think? Yeah, it looks like ducking and dodging. Because he did a... radio interview where he went in. He went in. See if I can find it. I wasn't even gonna play it, but this kind of proves the point. Like Katt Williams is kind of picking and choosing his targets, and it's kind of looking like he's doing to other people the same thing that Steve Harvey did to him. And it's like, okay, if this is your move, there's nothing wrong with it. But why are you calling out the kings of comedy when you know better? I mean, he's also stealing jokes and stuff, and he's doing the same thing that had it queued up. Let me let this play while we wait. I wait to see if I can find it.
Affiliates. I don't care if you're 6'6". I don't care if it's 5 of you. I don't care if I'm guaranteed an L. I don't care if you put a gun in my face. I don't care about none of that. I care about doing the right thing as I see it in that moment.
Man, how did you get on in the first place as far as like with the movie thing? Like I know I'm skipping over the comedy, but how did you get on with the movie thing? Like specifically,
you are skipping over comedy because that right there, I would have circled back to, okay, you saying all that. Why not we call him and run the numbers up for this interview? Let them add to the conversation. Let them add to the interview. Imagine if Shannon Sharp would have been like, okay, I hear what you're saying. Let's call some of these people so you all can have a back and forth so we can make sure that we're not mixing anything up.
I want to know about Money Mike. I want to know how you got that role.
Right. So here's the whole thing.
Okay, I found it right here. Found it right here. See, this right here is the BS. See, he has no problem going in on Wanda.
You got the best steak. What do you have?
As a father of 7 with an unlimited food budget, you can make whatever is necessary.
I
with
said
7,
what they like.
Excuse me.
I said what do they like?
Just because you're a poor interviewer doesn't mean.
I said you answer the question and just tell me.
Man, you're a strong
like.
black woman. Is it okay for me to answer?
Come on.
You keep interrupting the answer. Everyone can hear it. It sounds like you like me a little bit. It's starting to bleed over the airwaves.
It is.
Oh, really?
I want to let
Come
everybody
on.
know that Wanda got some lipstick on right now with enough glitter for the 4th of July 2020.
That's right. Kissable lips.
How many kids you got, Wanda?
I have 3 boys.
Excellent.
Yes, I do.
Aren't boys simple?
Hmm?
Aren't boys simple?
They can be. They can be.
Wanda knows she.
I'm what?
She didn't do as much cooking in the latter years as she did in the beginning.
Whatever. I cook. I do it all.
I didn't say that you
Well,
didn't.
that's all right. I did it in the beginning and the middle and the end.
What's your favorite thing to cook? Your boys, yeah.
They like for me to. I do a really nice broccoli. They like my broccoli and they love my baked chicken.
Hey,
And they
right now,
love-
look up your phone and see what it takes to make broccoli, and tell me does it say heat up water?
Shut up.
Is that the only step in broccoli? Heat up water?
Whatever.
Have you ever heard of burned broccoli? Can you
whatever,
burn
hater.
broccoli?
Whatever,
You can't burn
hater.
it because it's made in a pot of water.
You don't know nothing about.
You know what her second meal they love from her? What I do with corn.
Whatever.
I like to deal it out that can and I put it in there. And then I get a can of water and I put it on there. And then I get some Zatarans. They don't expect that. I sprinkle Zatarans on my
Great
corn.
cook. Whatever.
Yes, ma'am. You good
Whatever.
at heating stuff up.
You're good at telling us about what's going on in jail.
Yes, ma'am, and getting out to tell you. But I'm going to tell you at an arena named Phillips, and you going to tell me at the Atlanta Comedy Theater.
That's right. True.
Tomorrow, be there.
All right.
Red Grant show, I know
Red
I'll
Grant.
be there. Don't miss it.
Red Grant, Katt Williams, thank y'all for coming through, man.
Yes.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in.
I see why people come to Wanda's show.
Yeah.
Because Frank Ski puts it down.
That's right. Get on out of here with your crazy ass.
Uh-huh. Is he crazy?
And help me get to the salon. All right, it's the People Station Viewer 3. Your hair is kind of...
That joint was.
My hair is 19 inches long and I have no perm.
You don't?
Oops.
Oh, that's not a perm.
No, it is not. Nice lady.
That's natural.
Come run one of your gnarled
Well,
fingers.
come here. Come here.
While you on air,
Come
so
on.
they can hear you live.
Come on. Let me come over here.
No. That's not how that works.
Oh, okay. Well, then stay over there.
Don't worry, ain't nobody putting their hands through yours.
That's right. They don't have to. I don't want them to. Get on out of here. You okay? You okay? Are you all right?
Only one of our
You all
hands
right this
moving
morning?
while we talk.
Are you all right this morning? Are you okay?
Red Grant, Atlanta Comedy.
Tell Wanda to take off them headphones and that wig.
And make sure
that wig and that headphones
come
come together.
Them old ass clothes you got on. How about that? Yeah, they're old.
Versace, yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
She said,
Versace.
I want to apologize to the people at Versace Collection. This is your 2019 summer line that hasn't come out.
But you had to open it up and show us it was Versace. I wanted to.
No, I didn't have to open it up. These people are on radio. They can't see anything.
Yeah, but you opened it up so we could see it.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, happy
whatever store is for the Black Lane Bryant.
That's right. Very proud.
Okay, let's play some music real quick if we can. We going to a break real quick?
Very
all right, cool. We go to a break.
Shout outs to Forever 21 Necklace Collection.
That's right. Shout out.
They don't remember me for wilding out, right? I'm not the right one to Jones on.
Get this inmate out of here.
If you can't get your blood pressure down, you can't call me that.
Whatever, little mama.
If your cholesterol is 600.
Whatever, little mama.
I'm little mama's baby daddy.
No, you little mama.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey,
and what are you, girl? You probably shouldn't talk about sizes.
No, that's okay.
You big on the radio.
That's right. And you're big
Turn
in
it
prison.
down.
And you're
yes,
big
ma'am.
in prison.
I've never been to prison.
You have
19 felonies,
times.
no convictions.
Yeah,
Knock it off. Prison and jail aren't the same. No.
Okay,
no.
Calm down. Calm down.
Only one of us has $12 worth of jewelry on. No.
No, $12.
No. That all is available. If you want to have Wanda's jewelry, please go to Citgo or Quick Trip at any point. If you buy 2 packs of Newport 100s, they will give you everything Wanda has on right now for $7.99, and it comes with a free car wash. Won't you come on down?
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
The show starts at 9. Wanda gets to the stage at 9:17. Please come on down.
Go, Shay, please come get Miss Katt and do her hair.
She's almost out of breath. Be careful now. Even on the radio, you can hear the fact that exercise has crept into her vocabulary.
Hurry up, little mama. We're done.
You already used that one. Don't repeat your jokes, Fresh Comic.
Go ahead. We'll go to
Get
break.
your ass out of here.
All right, so he went in on Wanda Smith. That was so bad that allegedly they fired her, and she had her husband go look for Katt Williams with the pow pow. That's how bad that was. So why would Katt Williams not want Willie D to call Ali Sadiq and have that same back and forth? It's because he knows that going after Wanda Smith is going to be an easy thing. But when you bring in Ali Sadiq, Katt Williams might take an L, like he did with the 7-year-old that we played. Or 7th grader, rather. So Katt Williams did to Ali Sadiq the same thing that Steve Harvey did to Katt Williams.
Liars always come up with terrible lies. So Ricky Smiley says, yeah, Katt was supposed to play the Santa Claus and I was supposed to play the pimp. Liars always have ridiculous narratives. Nobody in America can imagine that a real movie studio would cast 5'5", 145-pound Katt Williams as a fucking Santa Claus, number one. Number two, Ricky Smiley was finna play a pimp? Really? Ricky Smiley has played a woman more times than Ricky Smiley has played a man. He's played Bernice Jenkins 5 times. I got it in my contract.
Yeah, but see, you and Ricky Smiley are like the same build. So both of y'all could have played the Santa. Like you could have swapped the roles. But when it comes to acting, you really don't see someone how they could be unless they act.
I don't work with Ricky Smiley unless he's playing Miss Bernice Jenkins.
But that's in your contract for real?
I make my contract, sir.
Oh,
when you're the master of your masters, everything else is subservient. That's why we have control. That's why we're hated, because there's something to hate. But anyway, so Money Mike, this is my first audition, not just my first movie. It's my first audition. The reason it was so great is because they allowed me to do what I wanted to do, and I needed to do things. So I needed to pick the wardrobe for the character. So Money Mike's wardrobe was impeccable because I designed it, and they made it so. I picked out the car, the color of the car. They had a guy playing a pimp. I need this to be an actual pimp. We need Bishop Magic Don Juan. Everything I had to do. Me and KD Albert, who played Donna, and Terry Crews, it was all of our first project, and my job was to make sure that we came off as if we were seasoned actors. And so I put everything I had into that movie to the point where in the script, Money Mike is raped in the bathroom. Katt Williams changed.
Well, even though Wanda Smith threw the first jab, so did the 7th grader, and Katt Williams took an L. So ever since that 7th grader, Katt Williams knows he needs to go after somebody that he can beat.
And another one gone, and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey.
Right. So Katt Williams is not trying to bite the dust anymore. That's why he's going after easy targets. That's the reason why when Willie D offered to call Ali Sadiq on the phone, Katt Williams hesitated and brought up the celebrity boxing match. And I would have boxed him, but he's not a celebrity. And see, Willie D should have circled back around and offered to call him again. But Willie D is weak in this interview.
Why? Because there's no way. What do you mean, Katt? There's no way. What are you saying? I'm saying in a place that small, I'm not rapeable. I don't care what has to happen. That's what will happen. And so that's how it changed and became a great movie. And just the thought process that maybe Ricky Smiley was going to do that, it is laughable. But yeah, that was going to be my only movie. So I had to do everything that I could do to make sure that it went the way I needed it to. And I've done that in every one of the 60 movie roles that I've done in the 50 network television roles.
Man, I'm glad you stood on that, man, because it's a lot of people who would not have. People get blinded by that bread, man, or that opportunity. And for you to stand on that says a lot. Because I know Terry Crews would probably enjoy it, in real life.
Oh, bless his heart. Yeah. Bless his heart.
Now, how did you get this this knack for comedy in the first place? Like you had a pretty tumultuous childhood. Like how do you pivot from that and get into comedy?
Hey, I didn't find it to be tumultuous.
So at the time, you was living it.
Yeah, this is not tumultuous. Okay. But your question was, how did you
find comedy?
A lot of times you have the true appreciation for something when you're not trying to do it. You just like it. So that's the relationship that I had with music, and it was the relationship that I had with comedy. So musically, I could listen to Pearl Jam and the Ghetto Boys. Like I could listen to 9 Inch Nails, and I could listen to Prince, and I could do that. And comedically, I found that I could do that too. It didn't matter what the comedy person looked like, or how they were built, or where they were from. If they were funny, I was going to be able to tell. So I understood that Don Knotts was out there working his ass off as Barney Fife. I understood he wasn't doing the same job as the rest of them. I understood that laughter is an emotion, and anytime you can tap an emotion, that's very powerful, regardless of what emotion you're tapping.
When you're tapping these emotions, before you deliver the joke, are you cognizant of what it's going to take to deliver that joke? Like, are you already knowing that I know for a fact I don't have to practice this? They're going to be with this right here. When I say this, I'm going to get them.
As a comedian, I have the best fan base in the world, like documented.
You do.
The slight amount of advertisement that they allowed me to do, and the fact that in a place as glorious as Houston, they pack the arena to the rafters, is based upon the fact that I, in 1995, started a conversation with a fan base, which was maybe 5 people. And through this entire time, I've kept up the same conversation with the same people as they grow. And I'm letting you see me win. I'm letting you see me lose. I'm never allowing the product to be affected by what's going on, because this is the greatest relationship here. So, yeah, consequently, bam, they know some things when I come to town. They know I'm finna bring the baddest comedians with me. That's who's gonna be opening up. They know this all over the country. And then they know that whatever it is Katt's gonna talk about for an hour, they know he did not talk about this.
Yeah, this interview was like January. Well, it was put. So according to Willie D, he did the interview months ago, but he aired it this month, January 2024.
Last time he was here. They know
Man,
that.
how in the hell do comedians get away with that anyway? Because I'm not going to see the same comedian tell the same jokes, 100 times in a row.
You let a rapper rap the same songs, though. And you let a singer sing the same songs, the classics, and you'll allow that. And so
yeah, but funny is supposed to be spontaneous. So that's the difference.
Well, understand that comedy has its roots long before social media. So before social media, you might have heard that this comedian is funny, right? And somebody might have told you what he said, but it didn't sound that funny to you. They just told you what he said. But when you see him in person, oh, he's hilarious. And so comedy always had a cycle where you showed the whole circuit your body of work. It's just comedians had gotten so lazy that they were doing one great set that they had on Comic View or Def Jam, and they were touring that for 15 years without changing it. And so we made it a part of our effort to push the fact that you should be writing new material and shaming the community into it by just, I'm going to keep putting out these specials and this new material. How long are you going to continue to tell these jokes? Because in a minute, the audience is going to be like, no, they got to say something new. And eventually the audience did do that. And
some audiences show up and they want you to say the old joke. They demand that you tell the old joke.
I don't have not one of those people in my fan base because they know better. They know that I would never.
Yeah, it's lackluster. So I'm going to go to the end where he was, he made the comment that a lot of people talked about.
Just decided.
Well, no, here's the thing. What you asked was, you say, hey, Wolf, what do you hate about the sheep? Nothing. Nothing. I feel good. I feel like we have a good position. Everything's going to be fine. Let's go, Coach Prime.
Yeah. What do you think about Coach Prime? What's up with Coach Prime? Have you been out there yet, Colorado?
No, I've supported from afar.
Yeah.
I'm saying anytime a great individual, regardless of what he does, finds something that he can be great in, like that's gonna work. Like he is a motivating factor and an asset to it. He always has been since the Jerry Curl days. Those are the leaders of men that we discussed earlier. An eternal optimist, someone that's clever and about books and hard work and discipline. As a black person, we should be so lucky as to have, a black coach like that. And as a non-black person, what a great job.
Man, you just described yourself, except the coach part. I mean, I take that back. You are a coach in your own right.
And you as well. That's the whole thing. Like, these compliments are all shared by all of us who receive them. Like, that's what it's got to be. If you're a reflection of me, then that's what it is. That's why in the good book it say, made in God's image. It don't mean you're always going to do that, but it means there's a possibility that you could mirror that.
Yeah. Do you have adopted children?
I'm an empty nester. I have no children at this point. I glory and hallelujah. No, everybody's grown. But yeah, I got grandbabies.
You got grandbabies? Okay. Yeah. How many?
4.
Nice.
All girls.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's how you know he's been doing something right.
What are the ages?
Of what?
The girls.
The grandbabies?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a 6, 2 4s, 11 months, and 2.
That's 5.
Yeah. I realized it as you said. I didn't know how to change the story. Okay, so I got 5 grandkids.
Wait, what do they call you?
I got 5 daughters. I can't get anybody to call me anything that I ask for. They've already made a decision, and that's what they call me. There's nothing I can do about it. And I'm not going to say what it is. It sounds like Stop or something. I don't know.
All right. Well, man, we appreciate you coming on the show, man.
I appreciate you having me. You're an icon and a legend yourself, and just the fact that you would spend time interviewing others is magnificent. And nobody asks worse questions. You have the worst questions in all of interviewing, and you can count on it. Nobody's going to mimic your questions. So, yeah, it's an honor. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
So what I think Katt Williams was saying right there is that you have the worst questions, not as a compliment, but by saying you're not going to dig deep and catch me up if I say something that is going to come across as a lie. You ask the worst questions. No one's going to ask questions like you, because the questions that Willie D was asking were very basic. He didn't do any follow-up, didn't do any digging. It's almost like all these were predetermined, more than likely given by Katt Williams' team or Katt Williams himself. This was very safe. And, nothing wrong with it, but people are open to giving a critique. And Willie D's got to stop being sensitive about being critiqued and not digging, not asking follow-up questions, not paying attention, and basically falling asleep at the wheel. So there is that. So no one else has come up. I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Yep. So I'm going to do one more advertisement. Please, if you feel so in your heart to want to do so, please support the platform, support the channel, support the page. Yep. Oh, wait a minute. Support.
Spade. Parkland.
Use my Cash App card when I cash her out. Shoot a 250 on the Cash App, then I ask her out. Cash App, what's your Cash App? Cash App, what's your Cash App?
Get on your Cash App, $
Spade. Parkland.
We're going to start getting some work done, family. So please get them donations in. Get them in. $
Spade. Parkland.
Yes. So link to all my links is pinned to the top of the live stream chat. I'm going to put it in the comment section as well. And it's also at the back of all my YouTube channels. Follow me everywhere. The Cash App is there too if you want to donate and support. Thumb up the video, share to your social media, subscribe, click the notification bell, ding the dong, bing the bong, all that great stuff. See you in the next stream or video. Thanks for watching. Go forth, do great things, and I'm out. Peace.